Good morning.
Morning,
Good morning.
everybody.
Good morning, and welcome, Liam, to the network. How are you?
Hey.
Very well. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Thanks for asking. Josh, nice to see you back in the seat and rocking
Very
that.
good to be back.
80s, 70s, 80s. What we're going with? 90s, Tash? More 80s, I think.
Look at Ron trying to bite his tongue there. Like he's trying so hard. We're 54 seconds in.
At least I'm biting it.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And cheers, Ron, Cammy, for joining us again, as always. Hope you've recovered from the wedding on Friday. You feeling all right?
I brought a cold back with me because I don't normally spend any time around other humans. So as soon as I did, the dirty people have given me the lurgy. That's what have I learned? Don't socialise.
Don't socialise. Right, okay. There's no topic for this morning. We're literally going to talk, chat, news, some mainly reef related. But if there's anything that you guys in the comments want to talk about, please just drop it in. As long as it's constructive, I will add it. And no onion jokes. Okay? No onion jokes. I did enough of those Friday. So, Josh, we've not seen you for a while. What's been happening then? We've not seen you for a couple of weeks. You've been working?
Working, holidaying. I think the first week I was away, I was in Iceland.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Spent 4 days in Iceland. Probably the trip of my life so far, if I'm honest. It was absolutely, if you get the opportunity to go. Insane place. Saw all sorts of things, saw the Northern Lights. So yeah, really, really cool little trip. And then, yeah, when we were back, it was back to work. And then you can't take us seriously with the Tash, can you, Ron? Is this what?
No, it's Bruce's mummy's just turned up. Sorry, I'm just...
Yeah,
Hello, okay.
Yeah, back to work, and then we had a trip to see my family, and then yeah, we're back now. So
cool.
Finally back.
And how's the tank? Anything to report? Any news?
So I've still not done the medication treatment that Christian recommended, but I did the dips. I think it was Mike Paletta published a dip that he sort of made. It was based off of I think it was the KFC dip. But he'd sort of tweaked it a little bit. I did a very, very similar, as close as I could get basically with what we can get in the UK. Dipped that and had
KFC. So the chai
seven herbs and spices.
Yeah,
11 herbs and spices.
Kung Fu Corals. It's American. I think American or Canadian, one of them. There's a shop over there. But yeah, it's his sort of version of that. I dipped all the corals, and obviously we all know I had quite a lot of bugs. The amount of bugs that came off were insane. Obviously, we've seen that we shared the pictures, didn't we, of what they were. Yeah. I've still not done the medication yet, but everything, and when I say everything, has got growth tips on it again now. Everything's looking miles better in terms of PE. The dip has been fantastic. I've lost one coral, but that was one coral that has been huffy for months, if not longer, which was a shame because it was a nice piece, but you know, it is what it is. I didn't ever expect it to. Once it had gotten to the stage it had, I didn't expect it to recover. So I just thought, well, we'll leave it in there, hope for the best, but unfortunately went. Other than that, all the rest of them seem to be doing really well. We've still got the two little damsels in there that are doing great. I'm debating just chucking a few more in, if I'm honest. And just whether or not to go for some utilitarian fish or not, I'm not sure. But, you know, the little damsels seem to be having a good time in there. They seem to be pretty happy. They're not getting any infections or anything. So whether or not that may have run its course, I'm not sure. But yeah, other than that, the tank seems to be ticking over pretty nicely. It's almost got to a stage, I was talking to someone the other day, where the hobby almost comes a little bit boring when you let your tank sort of just coast, because there's nothing for me to do. All the dosing is done via actual doses. You know, there's nothing I do on a day-to-day other than clean the glass. So it almost comes a little bit boring because you sort of go, well, what do I do now? It's a hobby. I want to be doing things. And you try and find things to do, and you think, oh, I'll spend some money. That might make it a bit more interesting. But no, I think I've just got to learn to be a bit patient and just let it grow, I think. So I bought a bit more rock as well. So I'm still debating adding more to the scape to try and make it a little bit more, a different shape slightly. But yeah.
Well, that's good then.
That,
so what's actually in that dip? Sorry.
Go on, say again, mate.
What's actually in that dip?
It is. I had it written down.
KFC dip or?
It was similar to. So where is it? I had it written down somewhere, mate. I will find it. Give us a second. It was. It's a whole bunch of different things. I think it was pretty heavy duty. I don't know if I could even find the paper that had it written on.
We'll have to share
it. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. I wrote it down somewhere. Where did I write it down? I have no idea where I put that.
Was it fairly easy to put together and get hold of the ingredients?
Yeah. It was super simple. It wasn't overly expensive. I think I've got half the stuff here. Here's half the stuff. So it was Melafix.
Yeah.
Revive.
We should have done a live one here. You could have mixed it live for the.
There was potassium chloride.
Yeah, which most people know or have.
Yeah. And I can't remember what there was anything else in.
Pond Melafix, Josh? Or
Yes, it is, mate. Yeah. Yeah, it is the pond one. Yeah.
Wow.
Any particular reason? Do you know, or is it just what was advised?
That was what was advised. That was what. Oh, hang on there. I've got it written here. Here we go. Yeah. So it was 4 liters of water.
Yeah.
20 ml Revive.
Sorry to put in tank water or RO. We're talking.
I did tank water. Yeah.
Tank water. Right,
corals and RO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 liters of tank water, 20 ml of Revive, 15 ml of Melafix, and 15 grams of the potassium chloride. Stuck it in with a power head, blitzed it up for about 15 minutes. It goes fairly cloudy just because the potassium doesn't dissolve in properly, so the water's fairly cloudy. But yeah, then I chucked the corals in. I think it was 10 minutes, and just sat there with a turkey baster, just give it like a couple of minutes, blast them all off, a couple more minutes, blast them all off, and then a quick rinse in some fresh salt water back in the tank, and that was it. They were quite huffy for a day or so, but after that, pretty good. I've been inspecting them with the magnifying glass. I've not seen anything on the corals for a long time, so I'm hoping. I mean, I don't expect it's got them all off, but you know, I've got the damsels in there now, and I know they're more flatworm orientated, but I'd like to think if they were picking off the odd few bugs, it might be one of those cases where you manage it rather than just completely eradicate. Because I didn't want to kill off all the microfauna I've got in there. I've got plenty of pods, plenty of like micro brittle stars, things like that, and I thought I don't want to kill all them off, cause a phosphate spike, because that in itself could cause me plenty of problems. So I just thought I'll see how the dips go. The dips have gone well. If I do still have really stunted growth, then I've got the medication there should I need it. So it's there on standby.
Springer damsels you've got?
Yes, mate, they are, right. Yeah. 2 of them.
And how quickly was it before you started to see positive signs then, as a result of using the dip?
I would say just over a week. The first one was the Pinky the Bear acro I've got. I've had it for years and it's done nothing. It just based out and did nothing. But the PE on it is absolutely huge now, like really long, and like it's not the furriest coral in the, like the hairiest coral in the world, but yeah, the PE was incredible, like how much longer it's got. So I just thought, no, there's a few millies that have popped out a little bit better as well. So yeah,
good.
We all love it hairy.
Yeah, that just runs typical immature mind. Just
I can see it. Yeah.
I have no idea what you are talking about. You're all filthy boys.
So do you feel like you've turned a corner then? Because clearly you've got a smile on your face. You were getting a bit frustrated before, weren't you? So
yeah, I mean, like obviously the frustration before, but prior to finding the bugs, it was just sort of a case of I just thought, you know, maybe it was just instability of the different elements. I wasn't really sure why I didn't have very good growth. Obviously, then Christian spotted the bugs, which was insane to think he managed to spot them from a photograph. That even I couldn't see him in person. But yeah, now that's happened. It's quite reassuring to know that, you know, I've made a bit of a difference. So hopefully, if the growth starts to take off properly, we'll start seeing a really filled out tank. But I mean, if I actually finally get around, because I've been banging on about adding extra bits to the scape for months, and I'm just not the most proactive of people. But if I do get around to doing it, it might look a little bit more filled out once the new scape's in there, because I'll try and group the bigger corals together so it'll look a little bit more more developed than what it does currently, because you've got a bit sparse in the middle and then some bigger stuff around the edges, and it doesn't look as I want it to. So yeah, there's a bit of some. Yeah,
I do. I think everybody is so obsessed with that instant looking tank, and they don't give the corals room to grow. I think you are bucking the trend, and I really like it.
You heard it, Josh, from Ron.
I did, yeah. I mean, I've got this lovely piece of branching rock that I was going to add to the back, so it would sort of like sit along the back like that, so it will come off the back a little bit more, so it would just give me a bit more depth.
Are you going to soak that or anything?
Yeah, so I'm going to glue the plugs onto it like I have done with, putty the plugs onto it like I have done with the rest of the scape, so I can just add the corals to it, and then it's going to sit in the sump for probably at least a month, just to try and get some of the nasties off. And then we've got this other smaller piece, like smaller flat section that I'll add just in front of it, so it'll sort of be graded from, like, you should get a higher section at the back, running right the way along, and then we'll have a lower section here, and then it'll go to the normal scape. So it just gives me a couple of little shelves that I'm hoping to put things like millies and tenuous and things on that might get a little bit more exposure to flow, a little bit better light, and a little bit more exposure to the flow. So hopefully, it's not just aesthetic; it's more sort of the health of the corals. I think if they get a bit better flow rather than being tucked down in the middle of the scape and being blocked by the coral next to them, hopefully we might see a bit better health. But we'll wait and see.
So we'll drop your.
Mounting it?
Go on, sorry, Liam. Go on, you're out.
How are you planning on mounting the rock to your new escape as such?
So I've got the, I can't remember what brand it is now. It's one of the putties. It's the really fast, sexy one. I think it was the Tunzi one. No, it was the Tunzi putty. I think it was the Tunzi one. I can't remember. I'm not 100%. It might have been the nice one. I'm not sure now. But it was a putty that's set like fairly quickly. So I'm going to whack a load of that on it, squeeze it to the rock where I want it. Because both those pieces there have been sort of made and shaped so that they're going to fit into existing pockets of the rock. So that they'll sit fairly firmly anyway. Putty it in, bit of super glue in there, and then I'm going to cable tie them in place, just with like 2 cable ties, just to hold them until it's all set and done. If need be, I'll cut the cable ties back off again, but I might just leave them there just purely because they'll get grow. You won't see them; they'll be hidden away by all the corals growing over it, and they'll just add a little bit of extra security. So that's the intended plan. Whether or not it goes to plan is another thing, but we'll have to wait and see.
Bit of plastic in the tank is far more natural anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it replicates nature, doesn't it? I might put like a traffic cone or something in there.
Tampon.
Ronald, behave. Keep it clean.
Just
a clean tampon, obviously. Right.
Just walk straight into it.
So we'll put your recipe then, or the one that you've taken from somebody else, should I say, in the description of the video. If anybody wants to check it out, you can check it out there. Are you going to redip them again? Is there any plan to do it again in, say, 6 weeks, a couple of months, just sort of precaution?
I'm gonna keep inspecting them, and if I see anything, if I see literally one bug, I'll dip them all again. But until I see something, it's unnecessary stress.
Yeah, true.
I feel like it might be beneficial to do it. There might be more comes off it. But then at the same time, let's say I might like take one bug off and end up, killing another 2 acros. So does it outweigh the benefit?
Would you say you've learned something from it then now? Because you know what you're looking for, I suppose, more than anything.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Obviously, the fact that I had stunted growth and I was just putting it down to, instability. Yes, there was instability, but I think having someone like Christian who looked at it, who's got that trained eye, who's been looking for pests for, years, it was great to have him have a look and just go, yeah, you have got them. And now in the future, when I get corals, it's going to be a case of there's going to be a much more rigorous dipping process, regardless where they come from. Even if it's from someone that says, yeah, they're completely clean, I'm just going to be thoroughly dipping them. And I'm sort of debating setting up a quarantine system anyway, just to be on the safe side, because I don't really want to risk introducing them again.
You've got your old tank, haven't you? Still got your old little tank that we did on first tank?
No.
Chat? No, you've got rid of that. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Say again?
What are you planning on using then?
Well,
bigger tank? Bigger tank?
No, not yet. Eventually, but there is potential to getting like a smaller like lagoon style system, but it's just a case of if I'm allowed to have it, and if I am allowed to have it, where it's going to go. So at the minute, there's not really anywhere for it to go other than potentially on the cabinet there that's got all the wiring and things in, but I don't think it's big enough to actually house it. And then it's a case of how am I going to manage that system? What am I going to use to run it? The thought process, because I was going to do just like a very sort of natural, I was going to put all different things in there, like is that the fire clamp? What are they called? The scallops.
The scallop.
Yeah, like the flame scallops, whatever they are. I was going to get like loads of random things like that and put them in this little like system there. Soft corals, things like that, and a couple of little like damsels and that, chuck them in there and have it as a really natural little tank next to it, and then use 2 Versas and just set them up as an auto water change. So there'd be no dosing or anything like that, just have it as like an extra part of the system. But obviously if I'm going to be using it as a quarantine, there's absolutely no chance I can do that. So it's and if it's a quarantine, it isn't going to look the prettiest. So yeah, I don't think she'd want it in the front room. So we'll see.
Right, thanks for that. What would you give your tank, before we move on? Sorry, what would you give your tank fun factor out of 10 at the minute without it's looking? What are you giving yourself?
I'd give it a 6 maybe.
Ooh,
Boo.
high
Come on.
standards. Only a 6.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've got
higher
the
than-
digi sat on the sand here against the glass.
Okay, all right. Okay. You're
yeah,
a critique. You are a critique, so I'll leave you there. I'm going with the 6. Okay, Liam, morning. No one just said
Good.
morning to you already. Thanks for joining us, sir.
You're welcome.
How are things over there in not so sunny Doncaster? Dare I ask?
Donny.
Donny.
Too bad today.
Yeah?
It still smells a bit funny around here. But
Okay.
it's just Doncaster in general.
Fair enough. So you've done a couple of tank tours, haven't you? You've done one with obviously with Ron on the Reef AF channel. So you've got just remind me your dimensions behind you. 6'3",
6x3 by 750, 700, something like that.
Right. Okay.
Total
you're running
system,
what? Total system. Sorry. Go on.
about 1800 litres total.
Fucking
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, he swore. All right. It's going to happen. He's not been on for a while. Sorry, Liam.
It to be him though.
I wasn't
Magnum.
I've shocked myself, if I'm honest.
Yeah. There is a mute button just for reference. Go on, Liam. Sorry, as you were saying.
Yes, it's quite a large system. I've got Radion's Apex system running it. I really like it. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's been happening recently with it? Have you, because you've had a few headaches like we all have in the hobby. You've got over them, I think, haven't you? From talking to you, she's obviously a good friend of mine. You live fairly local to me. So what's been happening more recently with the tank?
I had a bacterial bloom quite recently. I just mucked about, cleaning the sump out, cleaned out detritus, moved a lot of bacterial stuff around in the tank, added some Aquamedic K1 media, I think it is. Use it for koi ponds.
Yeah.
I was going to put a section in my sump for that, for a bit of bacterial load. Not sure if anyone's aware, but I've got a pet shark. And,
we have heard.
Oh, you have? That's good.
We have heard, yes.
And he helps quite a lot with the nutrients.
Okay.
So I wanted to get a bit more bacterial side of things in the tank to help with the nutrients.
Yeah.
Sort of added a little bit too much. Yeah, beneficial bacteria. Added a little bit too much all at the same time. Did a few too many things and caused a bacterial bloom.
Yeah.
Wiped out about 80% of my corals. Everything turned grey. Everything turned black. All the corals, which is really weird. We're on the other side of it. A few of the corals managed to make it through. Mr. Ron from down there sent me a lovely package of corals. Very grateful. They're doing amazing. It's all looking a bit better now.
What do artificial corals look like from Ron compared to normal ones that you would buy from a shop?
Well, look much better, but much cheaper.
Keep the colour longer.
They do.
No, to be fair, Ron, you and Star mate helping him out. I'm sure. I speak for him when I say, top draw, mate. Sending them down, mate. Really good.
It's all good.
Really appreciate it.
Are they all settled then? Are they all doing well? Because you've got quite.
They're all growing. Yeah, I've got something to grow over the plug and growing onto the rockwork now.
Good.
All good.
So everything's settled now. So it's just what are your plans now? Then is it just a case of stepping back and just leaving it a bit, or
another handful of corals to chuck in?
More coral.
Yeah, I've got loads of rockwork.
Okay.
There's a lot of room in the tank to grow. I don't want to put them all so they're inch next to each other. So then in a year's time,
like me.
Yeah, pretty much. So I want them to grow out, and I take a lot of inspiration from people like Reef Bum, for example, with those massive colonies that he grew out. It looks amazing. Ideally, that's the long-term plan, as long as I don't get flatworms again.
Okay.
Lessons learned.
So what are you giving yourself now? You've turned that corner. What are you giving your tank fun factor out of 10? Are you as strict as Josh with giving himself a 6? What are you giving yourself?
I'd go 7, 7.5, 8.
7. It's one or the other. We don't do half sizes on this show.
We'll go for a 7. Sorry.
7. Okay. 7 out of 10. Okay.
You rounded down. I'm gutted.
And the worst thing is, it was an odd number, Ron. Not an even number.
Yeah.
You don't like odd numbers, do you? Anyway,
an odd number.
Ron, before we come on to you, because I think you've got quite a bit to talk about, we're just going to jump into the comments and say hello to everybody that's joined us this morning. Because appreciate we're 20 minutes in, and there's a few people that have set the alarm clock. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Usual crew, I can see from the comments. Thanks again for the support. A few people have got other things, but they've come on to say good morning. Critical Reefer, I want to catch a stream, take the kids out for the day, have a great stream. Have a good Sunday, Critical Reef. Hope you're well. Johnny boy, hope you're good.
Morning, John.
Let me know when the ETA of your bigger size mugs are, please, because it's 3 gulps and I need to go make another one. But I do appreciate it because some people don't have the luxury of owning a John Wright mug, and I am proud to say I am one. So
mine is so bland.
Well, matches your hair colour.
That is true.
Rogers, morning, mate. Hope you're well, Ian. Hope you're good. He sent us some pictures. He's doing a lagoon-style tank. Don't know if you've seen it, Josh. Ian,
it's got the Strattons.
He has got the Strattons, yes.
With the axe.
Awesome light.
Yes. We'll talk about that in a bit because that's something I do want to talk about lighting this morning. But no, morning to Ian. Hope you're well. Hope the build's going. I think he was waiting for some more glass, which he got delivered yesterday. So I think he's on with that now. Exciting times. He's building his own tank, obviously. So fair play to him. He's done it before. He knows what he's doing. So
what did you say he was doing? What did you say he was doing scape-wise? Did you say was it?
He's doing a lagoon style. So I think he's doing a little bit sort of shorter, like you were talking about.
Nice.
He's put quite a bit on Instagram. So if you if you
just having a look now,
if you follow him, you'll be able to see his progress. And Ian's the admin and the founder of, I think, the biggest SPS Facebook group on Facebook, should I say. So he knows what he's talking about. So yeah, definitely somebody to reach out to. Yeah, and it pains me to say it, but he actually is a byproduct. He is a nice guy as well, which surprises me for being down south. But we've got Drippy as well.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
There are a few.
Hang on a minute.
Right, we've got UKM 120 morning. UKM 120. Hope you have a good Sunday. Morning.
Does he have a name? Does he or she have a name? Does anybody know who UKM 120 is? Because that person is on every stream.
Yeah, committed. Oh, needs committing.
Maybe that is their name. UKM 120.
Yeah. Drop us a comment if you want to share your name. Or we can guess. I'm not doing a poll.
Yeah.
No polls.
No. Whoa, hang on. You loved a poll before. What have I missed? What's happened?
Every poll I do, I crash the stream. So I am not doing another poll anyway.
Proves how long it's been since Josh has been on.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been about 4 or 5
And then
days.
he watches the other ones.
Rob's just fallen out of bed and Jeans must have caught him.
Put them silica beads everywhere again.
Wonder if his nurse is there to get him back up and maybe change him. We'll see.
Morning, Leroy. Hope you're well, mate.
Morning, Bandit.
Morning, Lee.
Morning, Lee. Dave or Davey, just Dave. Senna.
Dave.
Just Dave.
Morning, Dave.
One and only. Morning, Dave, mate. Hope you're good. Who we got? Jay. Morning, Jay. Hope you're well, mate. Not seeing you in the comments
Jay.
right now. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Hope your tank's doing well, mate. Ian. Morning, Ian. Hello, everyone. On this beautiful Derbyshire Sunday morning. Yes. It was a quite nice morning, to be fair. I took the dog out this morning. Yeah, so did everybody else. Nightmare. Anyway. Bruce's mummy. Morning, Bruce's mummy.
Morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Bruce's mum.
Here he is. Morning, Slotches. Josh, you've changed. Bristleworm on the top lip ain't going to catch on, mate.
Morning, Drippy.
Disappointed the rest of you haven't gone with one.
No.
Got to be done.
Norfolk Reefer. Morning, Norfolk Reefer.
Morning.
Good. Morning. Banana Rama. Wouldn't be the same Sunday morning without our good old Rama in the
Morning,
comments.
Rama. He's got a tank tour coming up soon. No pressure.
Oh, is it today?
No, it's Julian's today. Rama's next weekend.
What time is it? 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock, yeah.
Right, I will try and be there. If there is room on the panel, I will try and jump on.
Absolutely.
Right, we've got Justin Lee. Morning, Justin Lee.
Morning, Justin.
Nice to see you. Gaza is in the house. Morning,
guys.
Tank that.
And I think we are there or thereabouts. A few people. Oh, Coral Essentials Europe. Morning.
Morning.
All. Nice to see you in the comments. And we've got a few more joined us. Jamie Stacey. Morning, Jamie Stacey. Don't worry about being a bit late. It's normally me that's late to the party. Thanks for joining us. East Coast Reefer. Morning, East Coast Reefer.
Morning.
I was quite jealous. Everybody went to AAC yesterday or this weekend, didn't they, for the birthday do? And it's too long a drive for me, unfortunately.
I think he's done a video. It's up on YouTube this morning.
He has.
Watched it last night. Yeah.
He has done a lot. And I think we're about there, to be fair. Thank you, guys. Tank's looking good. Start looking at it now. Yes, probably with a digestive or 3, I'm sure. Enjoy, mate. That'll be good. Right then. Ronald,
Yes.
Ron Burgundy, tell us about your current situation. What's been happening, my man?
Busy week in reefing. Busier than normal, that's for sure. I had to swap this tank for the new one. I did think about leaving it because the seal isn't actually going, it's just the armoured seal. But then spoke to Ant at Red Sea and he said, that tank goes overnight and you've got a brand new tank sitting in the room next door. How's that going to make you feel? Came in the next morning, 6 hours, done. Swapped the entire thing. The only issue is...
No, sorry to butt in. You didn't swap the entire thing. Let's just get the facts right for the viewers watching, because I've watched the video and it's a great video. It's had nearly 3,000 views, so I'm sure I was going to throw it in. I was going to throw it on here, but I'm sure most people in the comments have already seen it. If you haven't, it is on the Reef AF channel. And I suggest that it's about a 6-minute video. It's definitely worth watching. But you didn't move it. You supervised and you videographed. You recorded everything. So I'll let you explain what happened. But you cannot take the credit because, like, those two lads, I can't remember their names. Is one James?
James and Ian. Yeah.
James and Ian. Mate, yeah. The pressure that they must have had on their shoulders with you watching them lift that rock. Wow. But
yeah,
sorry, I'll let you continue. Sorry.
And then there's fish falling out the rocks, and I'm screaming at them, muted, don't step on that tang. And then they go to put the rock back in, and an Anthea flops out and lands on one of the steps of the step ladder. He's about to go up, and I'm
like, no, really?
Anthea. And of course, they're holding this massive rock. I'm saying, don't break the corals, don't touch the glass with the rock, don't touch the glass with the corals, all the rest of it. They were amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah. I can't lift anything like that, anything. So, super grateful to have them around. But no. So the armoured seal started to go, not the silicon seal. He sent me a new tank. So first thing I had to do was I had to flip the new tank over and put the white vinyl bottom of it on it so it looks like it's sand. And then I had to get a 600-litre vat out of storage, slap it on the floor of the office after taking the door off, filling that with a whole load of water, getting that up to temperature, and then getting the guys to then move the scape in, drain some of the water out the tank, drain the rest of the water out the tank, strip the plumbing, the lighting, the MP40s off the back, get them to lift the tank out, bring the new tank in, level, all the rest of it, get the plumbing back on, pump some water back in, get them to lift the scape back in, and then rebuild everything. And then there was a leak.
Did you have a meeting with your staff before you started this? Because I've got a feeling that you had a meeting and you gave them all like a schedule.
Checklist.
I like that. I'm all about that.
Do's and don'ts, warnings, risk assessments.
Risk assessments, yeah.
Yes. One of the risk assessments I had to sign was there was so much butt crack in the video. I had to just be so careful where to film and where not to film. So yeah, it was risky.
But it was a success.
Absolutely. Other than this little leak, which it's the pipe that returns from the sump into the tank, so it's under pressure. There's water getting pumped through it, and just where the nut screws on to the pipe that passes through the weir. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, yeah, mine. So it's leaking from that nut. So I changed one of the drain pipes for the return pipe, and actually it was loose as well. So it's as if the main return pipe from the sump is just slightly bigger than the other two. I can't see any hairline cracks, so I've had to order new pipes to pass through the weir. They did just send a glass box and a pack of O-rings, and I'm not complaining. Obviously, it's absolutely incredible that they sent me a replacement tank a second time round. However,
because surely somebody at their end, must have gone, you know, this Ron guy from Eden Garden Centre, he's had 2 tanks now. This is going to be a third. Is there
they did
is he selling them on, or?
Well, they did speak to the rep, and the rep did speak up for me because he's been here before, and he said how fastidious I am in everything I do. He said, this is definitely not user error. This is a problem with the tank, so we've got to replace it. So, I'm not complaining, but I do think that if they're going to send out a new glass box, they should include just the pipe work that passes through the glass tank. I mean, do you guys have experience of Red Seas that it's got a thread, then it's got dual O-rings, then it's got another thread? So you thread the first thread through the glass, it drops down to the O-rings. You put a little bit of pressure on, and then you start screwing the second thread through the tank. And I think your average punter that's not got a lot of experience with tanks, if they're to replace that, you're putting a lot of pressure on that bulkhead going through the tank, which is glued in place by Red Sea from the factory. And for all it is a couple of PVC pipes, I think they should be including the weir pipes with replacement tanks. In my opinion.
In your opinion. So you've swapped the tank out, everything's settled, no losses, no fatalities.
Not yet.
Both staff have kept their jobs for now.
They have.
So been a positive week.
Yeah, I'm paying for one's chiropractor appointments, but other than that, it's fine.
Well, there's a blame, there's a claim.
Special shout out to them, though. Couldn't have done it without them.
No, and it's a good video, to be fair. You put it together well, mate. I wish I could. Really
well,
good.
I've done it more than once, so, you know.
All that spare time on your hands, having 26 staff, what more can I say?
Well,
now I know why you and Rob do better videos than me. Anyway, anything else?
Yeah, my new light arrived, so I went for an ATI Stratton, which is just on the floor there.
Come on, show it. Come on,
Very nice light.
Show and tell.
Yeah.
Come on, show and tell. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I'll see which version he's got.
He went for the grey one, I think. He said to me he was going for the grey. I was going to go. I want white. Definitely want a white one.
Are you getting a white one here?
Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
Do you mean, am I?
Yeah,
Come
you
on,
will.
we're waiting. Is it,
So it comes with a nice, gigantic, juicy, mean well
driver.
Like that.
yeah.
Like that.
And then it comes with this box, okay? And the most interesting thing I found about this box is it's got an Ethernet port, so you can hardwire your light to use with an app, Tom.
Well, it already started, and I knew this was going to happen. Get an app. App. I'm sure there'll be more to follow.
So yeah,
Anyway,
the light does come in a completely separate box from the driver, and inside this box, you just pop it open with your fingers, like so. And there are 4 cables that come from the physical light, and you have to screw them into this little board, which some people said to me yesterday on Salty Banter, oh my God, you've got to like build it yourself. I was like, yeah, but see, mine's going to be passing through a wall, so this is actually perfect for me.
Convenient.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just passed it's transparent with silver braided cable. Just passed it through the wall and then connected to the driver. So I'll just pop it out of the box, speak amongst yourselves.
only a proud. Honestly. Oh, dear.
So I went for the big one, which is the 204, and it's basically the same size as the tank. So
Is that the biggest one? Is that the biggest one you've gone for?
Yeah, I'm expecting it to give reasonable coverage.
Come on, let's have a look. Come on.
That's the thing, isn't it? Though they're supposed to literally be like an LED version of T5s. So yes,
Oh
Ron,
my
love that.
God.
Oh,
Give us a. Wow.
that is pure reef pornography.
I think you should leave that there for the rest of the stream, mate. It's better to look at than you. Sorry.
I don't doubt there's people, trouser twitching at the moment. It is one solid piece of aluminium.
It is just one machine piece, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's,
Right. While you've got that in your hand, I'm just going to throw this up on screen.
There we go.
So, well, if I can do this 1 second.
Crashes stream.
Oh,
it is
no,
heavier
no.
than I was expecting. Not going to lie.
You can do it. You can do
It's
it.
not as
Right,
heavy, did you
where
say?
are we?
No, it is heavier than I was
Does
expecting.
it look the same as
How
this?
heavy is it? Is this the
Is this the
Jabawi
Ripple
sort of
one?
styly one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's pretty similar,
yeah.
right? If I hold it.
I did see
held
this
it
the
that
other
way.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to know the LEDs used in the knockoff versus
Yes,
the
the
ones
same, I
used.
reckon. I reckon they're made in the same factory.
What the dimensions are on? Do you know?
Yes, there is 24 inches by 18.5 by 0.5.
See, that 0.5 is amazing, isn't it? That's
It's all. If you stand at the right height, it's almost verging on invisible. So yeah,
Nice.
why the grey over the white?
they didn't have white in stock, and I am an impatient child.
Brilliant.
So the knockoff version, because East Coast Reef was asking about that. So Liam, you stumbled across this because you remember rightly last Sunday we started delving into comparison lights, didn't we? Like the cheaper Radion and a few others. And I think you found this, Liam, didn't you? On the back of that, you started having a bit of research.
I saw it on Telegram's Instagram.
Right.
And I had a quick look through some of the apps I've got, and you can, Alibaba, the Chinese have ripped off the Stratton already.
But is that right? You have to buy. So at the minute, because you know more about Alibaba and Express, because you bought a lot more than I have. I've never bought anything from them. So how does it work then? So what's Alibaba?
So Alibaba's like the wholesaler.
Okay. Yeah.
For AliExpress kind of thing. So you have to buy things in a minimum quantity to get at that price. You can buy the DMP Jabeo MP40s for, I think it works out about 67 quid each, but you need to order 10 of them.
Right. Okay. Which is why there's lots of people turning up on eBay with them because they bought 10 to try and sell them out and make a profit.
May well have done. Yeah. But then you end up finding that a few other Chinese markets buy 100 off of Alibaba, then they end up on the AliExpress and the other apps. Like a few others out there, Team New and stuff like that.
So do you think it's only a matter of time now until they're on AliExpress? Right. Okay.
Yeah, they won't be on there till long.
That'd be really interesting to see if it's the same light though. But then I guess, would you buy that cheaper light and put it? Please comment it. Please, you would. So you would go for it. Yeah. Drop us a message in the comments if you would buy that. I mean, like I say, it's from what you showed me. I don't think it gives an exact sort of price, but it is going to be somewhat cheaper. I'd be interested.
I guarantee it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
cheaper.
On the floor there is like 1,500 quid retail.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got insane coverage though.
What's the dimensions of the thickness again? Sorry, is it, what did you say?
0.5
of an inch.
Of an inch.
Yeah. So this is saying the same, 0.46. So it's pretty, it looks very similar on.
Yeah. The only thing I can see potentially being different is components inside.
Yeah.
This one's got an app as well.
Getting the machined aluminium is going to be fairly easy, but whether or not the components are made to the same standard is another question.
See, they're showing a silver one there in the picture. I mean, do you think this is it now? Do you think this is going to be? I mean, obviously, there's been a big hoo-ha about the whole, the MP40. Do you think that's it for the future now of a lot of these marine products? Do you think we're just going to keep seeing more and more, I suppose, alternatives, whether it's the same gubbins inside, branded differently, or?
Well, hopefully it drives innovation. And, the reefing hobby gets the benefit of that innovation. That's competition is so healthy. I'm not saying ripping people off is the right thing.
Not just innovation, prices as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the hobby is extortionate. Let's be quite frank about that.
It's
£1,500 for that light is it's insane. That's more than some people earn in a month. Never mind, So if it means that
we can buy 12 a year.
Ian sent me a picture of his Strattons that he's hanging at the minute, and as you all know, I can't do two things at once, so I'm going to email them myself and drop it in a second. But so other than the light run, you happy with it then? Are you happy with it? I mean, you've not got it switched on at the minute.
I've not even got it plugged in. I just I've wanted one since the very first time I saw one, which was I don't know what when was the very first one launched? Like
the first Stratton.
Yeah, 2019, 2020, something like that.
Something like that, mate. It's about that. Yeah. I've been a massive fan since day one.
Same here. And it's been something that's actually not much in this hobby hardware-wise turns me on anymore, but that's been something that's been in the back of my mind. And as soon as I heard Exodus in the UK, got a hold of them, because I contacted Fast like a million times. Nope, don't have any Germany or anything, but just getting fobbed off constantly. Contacted Exodus during the live stream where somebody told me Exodus in the UK had them, and I got a message live saying, "Do you want one?" I was like, "Cool,
yeah, easy done, yeah."
And that was it. And then told Bernadette how much they were, and the bruising is.
You haven't spoken since.
The bruising is subsiding. I'm on the arnica tablets. It's fine.
Oh dear. But no, what I was trying to say is from you seeing them advertised and then you getting the package and opening it, because quite often we can see things online that look better than they are, they're marketed, super enhanced, whatever. Did you open the box and was it literally Christmas morning?
Yes.
You got your first PlayStation or whatever sort of vibe?
Yeah. It came in 3 heavy-duty, thick cardboard boxes, really good quality, kind of like polystyrene type stuff wrapped all around it and stuff. Comes with the hanging kit in the box.
Nice.
No, it was a juicy moment, and I'm looking forward to getting it up. So, the stats on it. So the LEDs, it's got 24 UV, which is the only thing I'm going to talk about later because somebody says they're not proper UV or something. I don't really care. 24 violet, 24 royal blue, 48 blue, 40 warm white, 24 bright white. One of the two because they only call them white 1 and white 2. Don't know which one's which.
Yeah.
8 cyan and 12 red. So there's seven channels in total. And they recommend that it will give an SPS tank a coverage of 36 by 28 inches with 1 light.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is bigger than my tank. So I'm gonna have it turned down quite low to begin with.
Yeah.
And then work on my tan.
So what would you say you're giving the tank in general then now? You've moved it, you've got the light. I mean, it's not on yet. So what are you giving your tank out of a 10 fun factor this Sunday morning?
I can't give any tank I own a 10 out of 10. I think that's absolutely impossible. Nobody's like totally over the moon with everything all the time. So I'd give it a 9 though. I mean, I'm a positive person and it looks great. There's no algae because it's a brand new tank. That's what I do. Yeah. You know, your car ashtray used to get full, you would trade it in. So that's what I do with tanks. Rob always makes a joke about the fact that my snails are just desperately searching in a depressed state for algae and they'll just never find it.
Oh dear. What? Anything else? You happy with that? That's your week wrapped up, pretty much.
It was that was quite a lot, to be honest. So yeah, that's plenty for me.
And you've had 500 Christmas trees delivered, you tell me?
Yes. And Bernadette and I deliver every single tree by hand for free. So that's going to...
How do you order them?
You've just took the words out of my mouth. Yes. I wanted one from Rob. I was going to order one from Rob.
It's funny. A friend of mine down in England did say, do you deliver? And I said, we can deliver like house plants and stuff like that. We've never done it, but we'll do it. And he said, oh, no, I'm looking for a Christmas tree. Like, no, that's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Well, that brings me on to the one of the things I wanted to talk about this morning, which is not reef related. I don't know whether I'm going to sound like a bit of a Scrooge, but what is your take? Because you've got the garden centre. So do you do the grotto? Are you baubles? Are you all that plastic? No offense, tat that people buy at Christmas, little houses and all that. Yeah.
Full shebang.
You're full shebang. Okay.
We don't do the grotto though. Sometimes we get Mrs. Claus in to do a story and all the rest of it. But yeah, we do the full Christmas thing. We've got to. See, without Christmas, garden centres can't survive the winter. That's the true fact. I'm not a fan of it. I don't particularly like doing it at the end of September and October. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But without it, we can't survive.
Okay.
And the same people that moan are the same people that take a trolley of Christmas tat to the checkout.
Okay. Well, I've just drove past quite a few houses the last couple of days that have got Christmas trees in the window, and I just wondered what everybody's sort of thought was on what is like the earliest that you should be putting a Christmas tree up. I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should do any decorations in November, personally.
I agree. Totally agree.
I think that's just wrong.
Yep.
But if anybody else would like to drop a comment in the comment section, I'd be curious to know what everybody else thinks. Because from being a garden centre owner and having all that, like I say, tat, whatever you want to call it, at what point do you start playing Christmas music? Have you got it on already in the garden centre? No Christmas music.
No, that's into December. That's one thing that some customers do completely lose the will to live with, and they'll just be like, nah, not coming back.
Yeah.
Everyone's
they were playing them on the radio yesterday. They were playing them on the radio the other day, and I just thought, it's November. Yeah. Capital on Friday, I think it was, or it might have been yesterday. I was in the car. They were playing all Christmas music all the way along. What are you doing?
Middle of November.
Middle of November, which was, and then I drove, and on the same, it was when we went to get some of the furniture for up here, and it was to IKEA, and on the same trip, Kaz was obviously with me in the passenger seat, and she was like, I said, I've counted 3 houses so far, on this street that have all got Christmas decorations up, and I was like, what? And then we just kept seeing them, and I just thought maybe it's us. So 1st of December.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the early.
I think that's the earliest and the latest. 1st of December. No arguing.
What would you put them up earlier then?
No, I'm saying that's the earliest I'd put them up, but it's also the latest I'd put them up. Always the 1st of December. You start your advent calendar on the 1st of December. Get the tree up.
Right.
Okay, really?
It was up to me.
I'm a big Christmas fan.
Yeah, you came on 20. As a kid, it was the weekend before Christmas Day. Now December.
I'll never understand why. We still haven't got UK 120's name yet. Yeah, I'll never understand people that want to get it up as late as possible and as down as early as possible. Certainly enjoyed.
Well, yeah, I get that, but I suppose it's a lot of it's to do if you've got kids and whatnot, I suppose, in the house. Anyway.
True.
Right, so so there's a lot of weirdos in Rotherham, me included, clearly, that have the tree up early, but we haven't got our tree up. I think we go 12 days before. Not that it matters.
Are you going to decorate your tanks for Christmas?
Oh, that's a good question. No.
You going to put a little bit of tinsel around your Reefers Network sign, Tom?
I would rather lick my skimmer cup than put tinsel around my tank.
Wow, Josh.
Odds on.
Have you got tiny little baubles for your moustache, Josh?
I haven't for the moustache, Ronald. No, I don't. But there may be a little decoration or something going up near the tank.
You see, it's all right for Rob because he's got Jeeves doing it and his helpers. He don't have to do it.
If we're talking about early, by the way, I'm going to try and I'll cover up part of this. You can see. So this is a load of Christmas cards.
Cards, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and cover the foul language. Oh, bloody hell. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, don't swear trying to cover the foul language up.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
No.
Basically, that was the 28th of July in 2015. That was how early some shops are selling Christmas cards. July.
God.
We do have some customers that buy older, to be fair, quite a lot older generation that send 1 billion cards every year. They start writing them in the summer, and there's a chance they might be dead by the time Christmas comes. So,
I suppose they got to get them in then, don't they? Get them done.
Yeah. So Dave, bless him, sounds like my sex life, 2015. Dave, hang on in, mate. It'll happen. I'm going to say good morning to Tim. Morning, Tim. Hope you're well. Notice you put something on Facebook and in the chat the other day. As a result of going to Yorkshire Reefs with me and some of the crew a couple of months ago, when they had an evening there, I think you started running the biodiversity and the phyto, and had a really good result of getting rid of some cyano. So, what you're laughing at now? What we got in the
look at Drippy's comment.
That's what.
Don't put it on the screen.
Yeah, that's what he gets called up here. So I'm ignoring it. Yeah, that's what he gets called. Yeah.
Who?
Tim.
Wakefield. Tim.
Really?
Wakefield Reaper. Yes.
That's not a good name.
No, it isn't. I'll explain. There is a reason behind it.
I mean,
it's all to do with his surname. No, we're not explaining it.
You just said we're explaining it.
We're not explaining it. No, I'll explain it after the stream, is what I said.
Does the Reefers Network have a good lawyer?
Is the surname very close to the nickname?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, the name's ringing a bell. Yeah.
Yeah. You've not seen him in the local paper now. Anyway. Right, back to life. Sorry, I went on a tangent about Christmas. It's not Christmas yet. It's not December. Forget it. Leave your decorations in a box for a couple of weeks later. Ian sent this into it. So while we were talking, these are his Strattons at the minute over his new tank he's building. So 2 white ones. I don't know what size are they. They're the medium ones, Ian. Small ones. He's texting me while we're talking here. Be interested to see if it's the same drivers. Oh yes, he's giving me a code on his meanwhile driver. He wants to know if it's the same one as you, Ron. Can we have a code check if you don't mind?
Yes. What's his code?
So my phone's not going to let me do it. Let's see if I can zoom it in. So we have a see that?
Does
we
it
have
start
a
with an ELG?
XLG.
No, mine's an ELG.
Ooh, different.
But what are the numbers?
The numbers are 200-24-A.
Okay, so mine's a 324. So 24 will be the amps. And I assume the 300 and the 200 will be watts?
Possibly.
What's it?
What's it? Right, I'm going to jump into the comments. A few questions regarding the light rod that maybe you could answer.
I've not plugged them in yet.
Do the Strattons come with an app?
Yes, they do. In fact, Tom, could you clarify that for me? Bernadette loves it when you do that.
It's got to be 24 volts will be 2 to 300 will be the watts. Yes. 300 lux.
300 lux rod. Love it. Lux.
What was Rama asking? Rama's asking, do they come with lighting presets or do you have to adjust each channel yourself? That'd be a lot of work if you had to. Who knows?
I'm going to use
Let's refer to the app.
Yeah, I'm going to use the acronym NAFC.
Oh, dear. Anyway.
UKM 120 wants a poll.
No polls.
Name. Come on.
No polls. No, because it will crash. I'm guaranteeing you it will crash. And I'm not going to be held responsible for any more technical issues.
Did Drippy try a poll on Friday? No?
No, he didn't.
We didn't.
Are they banned? Are they banned like swearing?
No, they're not banned. We need to try. We need to do a bit more testing. But we seem to think that it's a link. It's a relationship between StreamYard and YouTube that doesn't like it at the minute. Every time we've done it, don't like it. Anyway, would you like to know about my week in reefing?
Not really.
No, if you want.
Did we just do the news?
Have you got some news? Have you got some news you want to? Have you got some news? All right. Yeah. We'll jump straight into the news.
No.
There you go.
I would just really like to know everybody's thoughts on what has been going on in Hawaii this week with them releasing 300 captive bred yellow tangs into the wild. I'm not sure how I feel about it. So it's the Oceanic Institute of Hawaii Pacific University. So they launched 300 yellow tangs into
they launched them. They just stand there, just
the kids all got
off
one.
the beach, just
and they'll
get out.
Loads of hobbyists just catching them in the tank.
Some of them brought catapults, Yeah, I just wondered what people's thoughts were on it. I'm not sure how I feel about potential pathogens, etc., getting launched into the ocean.
I think those pathogens are going to have come from the ocean in the first place, and the nature's quite brutal in survival of the fittest. So I think anything that's weak will just be gone quite quickly, and then it'll be the strong ones that survive. That's the thing. Sorry, I'm going to go off just slightly, but it is yellow tang related. I saw something a while ago that someone was saying that people, when they captive breed fish, every fish goes up for sale, regardless whether or not it's got defects or anything wrong with it. They all go up for sale. They're all the same price. You could have different fin issues, but they're like, sell it, same price, same fish. Whereas other animals, so like dogs and things, if they've got serious defects, you mightn't sell them for the same price. And I think in this hobby, it seems to be a case of a fish is a fish is a fish. It doesn't matter the level of health with it. It's just sold off at whatever price. Well, obviously, when you're getting them from the ocean, you're very rarely going to find the debilitating defects because that fish isn't going to have survived in the first place. So, it's good that we have captive bred, but at the same time, we're getting a lot of poorly fish, shall we say, in the hobby as a result of captive breeding, as opposed to the potentially a lot healthier specimens you get that are hardened up by the wild.
Is this what you're talking about, Ron? Isn't it? This one here?
Yeah, so they're calling it, is it ecosystem rehabilitation or something? I can't remember the exact term. I should really have brought the ecosystem restoration, I think was the term they used.
Right.
Because they certainly weren't specifying it was for food chain and consumption.
Right.
I just thought it was interesting. They do specify that the juveniles were inspected for pathogens and things like that. I don't know how I feel about it. That's all. I thought it was interesting that we're doing it to begin with.
I wonder what the population numbers are like on the reefs.
From what I've been told, and I have no personal experience of it, I've been told that the population of yellow tangs over there is thriving. but I have no evidence.
So you'd wonder if 300's even going to make the slightest dent at all.
Well, it's not like a
shark's
shark or
gonna
a
have
whale.
breakfast.
It's not like a shark or a whale that you can tag to see if it's
Yeah,
still
exactly.
alive. You tagging a
Oh, these ones will. They'll have missing tails. Yeah.
probably.
Just
Probably.
write names on them with a Sharpie. This one's called Ian. It's called John.
What, like the little rubber ducks you used to get at the fair?
Yes.
Fuck a duck.
A number on the bottom of it.
Oh dear. I don't know how I feel about it. I think the concept, you can understand the concept, but I don't. But again, I think, yeah, like you're saying.
I think it's a feel-good story, right? And I think there's a lot of them in that hobby.
It's Sapphire, I think. Morning, if it is Sapphire, Duncan.
It
Morning,
is.
Dr. Reeves, thanks for joining us. Having been to Hawaii, there are mental numbers of yellow tangs.
That's what I've heard.
Interesting.
I wonder if it's just I don't know how they're going to track it. Like it was a precursor to maybe going, we're going to do this, see how it gets on, and then should we need to in the future, we've got the ability to. But there's just absolutely no way of tracking it. Like you said, like how are they going to monitor those fish to know if they've been successful or not?
Well, I think Hawaii actually, a lot of people have said that the decision to stop actually allowing the export of yellow tangs was more of an emotional decision from the government than it was habitat and animal destruction. It was more about Hawaii saying, no, we don't want our fish getting collected and exported. That's what I heard.
Right, okay.
Have you seen the fish markets?
Well, they eat them. They eat buckets of yellow tang. I remember I
All
read
the
a
different
story
tangs,
online,
them, yeah.
and there was a guy coming up a beach with a bucket, and a guy was going down to the sea just to paddle in the water, and he says, "Oh, can I see what's in your bucket?" And the guy carrying the bucket from the ocean up to the beach was going to a barbecue with a bucket of yellow tangs.
But they're not
There's
exactly
a program on Netflix.
they're not exactly the
Meat
meatiest
Eater.
fish, though, are they?
They must be tasty.
What?
Tastes like sunshine, so I've heard.
There's a program on Netflix called Meat Eater, and he went. It's all about like hunting animals and polygon. And he went spearfishing in Hawaii, and you see him spearfishing Achilles tangs and powder browns and all this stuff.
Rob's gonna
It
win
wasn't
that.
Yeah, it wasn't enjoyable to watch, but at the end of the day, it's nature, and like you say, they eat them over there. It's a natural food. They don't see it
That's
as
their
a fish.
Aldi. The ocean is their Tesco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Rob saying it was a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely
What would you have? What would you have an Achilles or yellow tang with if you had to choose, gentlemen? Rice?
Probably
Would you go for jacket potato chips? What would you?
I would probably put an Achilles in between two purple tangs. Just, that would be the bread.
Any sauce?
Yeah, probably just some squeeze an urchin on top of it. Just,
Purple helmet.
Purple urchin. Yeah.
Yes, we're all on the same page.
Oh dear. Sleeveless Reefer. Morning, Sleeveless Reefer. That is.
Oh, that's Jason.
Jason.
Morning, Jason.
Morning,
Yeah.
Jason. Hope you're well, buddy.
Got up early.
Yes.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drippy saying, be interesting to see how the place releasing the fish is funded. As if its government would be a good PA stunt to say, keep our money coming. Look at the, yes, just say, yeah, fair point. Fair point. What is the price of a Hawaiian, normal, proper Hawaiian tang these days? What are they selling at? Can you get them still?
I'll say, I don't think you can get them yet, can you?
You get them?
I can't see them.
No.
Can't see them. Right, okay. So they tend to come from other hobbyists then that are shutting down or moving fish on that are from original. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, haven't they
Are they
magically found some in the Philippines?
I was about to say, yeah, I'm sure they're distributed further than we actually realised.
£300-ish. Right, okay. One thing I did notice, so to be fair to Rob, is he's got. Oh, Rob, you're gonna have to remind me how many hybrid ones you've got, or should I say, captive ones you've got, versus original Hawaiian ones. You can't tell the difference when I looked at his tank, because in some shops I've seen them are really, really pale, and you can literally other ends of the color chart or whatever. But his were all, I don't know, it's diet. I'm assuming.
I was going to say it's got to be diet, surely, like carotenoids and stuff in the diet.
Well, you can see on that Reef Builders page where they're releasing the tangs. There's one that just dropped out the bucket that is almost completely transparent.
Is that not stress related as well, though? Like, some fish will go, they'll change their colours, won't they, when they're
yellow tangs tend to go a kind of brown
do they?
colour, but juveniles different. No idea. No idea.
Oh. £400 odd in ASC yesterday. Wow. A lot of money for a fish, in it. Unless you rob, obviously. 10 grand.
Get 4 of them for your light, Ron.
I didn't pay retail, but yeah, still a
assumed.
disgusting amount of money. But it's the first piece of hardware I've bought in a long time.
Just going back to the lights again. Ian's saying 8 presets on that Stratton from what he's looked at. So cool. Another light I wanted to where is it? I lost it now. Another light I wanted to talk about. I've lost it now. Have either of you heard anything of the GNC lights?
Yes.
Obviously, I have a tank behind me. Thanks for asking about it, by the way.
Is that new?
It's empty. Glass box.
Not of interest. Yeah, I'm interested in these, me. Where are we? Stage. So these go on, Josh.
No, go on. Say what you're going to say about it, mate, and then.
Well, these are an Italian brand, aren't they? They've been out a little bit from what I know. I think they were released in 20. Oh God, no, I'm not going to say 2021. I think they were at a reefing show in America in the States. They were talking about them there because it was Elos that were talking about them. They look quite nice. They're different.
I just don't trust Italian electrical items.
They only work on weekends, and they won't get any support.
Yeah. True.
I've had nothing but issues with Italian electrical items of all descriptions. I mean, obviously, my partner is Italian, and she has just walked in the room, so I'm now going to shut up. She just poked her head up above my monitor there.
Does anybody know anything about these lights in the comments? Because I'm curious.
Never heard of them.
Have you not?
Adams ran one on one of his systems.
Did he?
He's got I'm sure he's got a video about it on the Reef Builders page. I watched it because I was offered the opportunity to run one over the tank, and just because it's such a heavy blue oriented, there are whites in it, but I think it's a lot more blue orientated. It was something that I thought it's maybe not for me,
Right.
and yeah, I just in the end chose to politely decline the offer. But it looks like a solid built light. It looks like a really nicely built light, but it looks a lot more industrial than the likes. If I'm going to change the lighting, it needs to be something that's more aesthetically pleasing than what I've already got. And yeah, it just didn't tick all the boxes, unfortunately. I mean, like I said, it looks fantastic. The number of LEDs on it is insane.
There's 900
Yeah.
on it from what I read or what I watched. There's a couple of YouTube videos on it. Yeah. They just, I think they come out for the same size of the Stratton that Ron's got. I think they come out about £500-600 cheaper. So I was just curious to see from an alternative price what you could get for the money, because
that much cheaper.
Yeah. The big one that Ron's got, I think retail is about £1,500 from memory.
1579, I think the big one is
1579. Yeah.
So how is this Blu-ray cooled then? Is it passive or active?
Passive as well, mate. Yeah,
Passive.
Okay.
Passive.
Yeah.
It's passive.
But it's got like the big fins on top of it. I'm sure if you go to that the fourth picture down, Tom. Yeah, there you go. It's got like the big fins on top.
Oh, look
Doesn't look a very nice light.
No,
Example.
yeah, that was part of the decision. Was it doesn't look any nicer than what I've got. Like everything at the minute is just housed inside that Aquatic Life hybrid one. There you go.
So yeah,
aesthetically it doesn't look as nice externally, and then the actual lighting itself didn't really tick the boxes that I was after. That maybe a Stratton would if I get a Stratton over the tank.
I think there's a lot. Yeah, I was saying this to Drippy earlier. I think if you've got one of those, you'd be kicking yourself that you didn't save up a little bit more money. If everybody's raving about the Strattons, will probably get the Stratton. But then I also think, like, are there not other products on the market that you couldn't try? I don't know. Who knows? Anyway,
it is very much follow popular opinion. That was one thing that Jake Adams was always good at. He did always try out less popular bits of equipment just to see how good they were. and that was one of the bits that
he was the first person that did the review on the Wii.
Say that again. One of you went and said what?
He was Jake Adams was one of the first people that did the little review on the Sentia dosers,
Yes, he was.
which are amazing.
What are these? Spell it.
Sentia dosers, Sentia.
Made by Seachem Aquavitro. And they're they're modular and they all slot together and they're all coloured and the app is 10 out of 10.
Oh, we're getting a tour on. Oh, we're going under it. Oh, there we go.
There they are.
Now that is really interesting. You've chosen blue and green. I use Tropic Marin traces on them, and one bottle is blue and one is green.
That is sad.
They are. Oh, it's all color coded. You know, everything's color coded.
Yeah,
everything's color coded.
I think you should give us. Well, first of all, you need to join the Reefy AF Discord, and then you need to give us a tank tour.
He does need to give you a tank
tour. Mate,
tour.
I'll be happy to do a tank tour.
Oh, lock him in. Lock him in like I got locked in. Lock it in.
We'll work on a date, Ronald. I'll do a tank tour, 100%. I'll do a tank tour.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Brilliant. Sorry.
Morning. Anything aquarium maintenance? Hope you're good. How many aquariums do you maintain on a weekly basis? Anything? I'd be curious to know because you're obviously in the maintenance game. You're looking after other people's tanks. How many tanks do you service? Be interested to know. Drop it in the comments. So, anything else, gentlemen? Talked about line for a minute. Anything else?
Let's talk about your week, Tom, and I would love to hear about the new tank because that is a juicy piece of furniture.
It is a juicy piece of furniture. I actually have some pictures that I actually picked some pictures of me building it. I was going to do an Instagram post the other day, and I just can't be asked. I just thought I can't be bothered doing it because sometimes it's just so much hassle. But no, I said this to a few people that I spoke to. So a couple of people to say thank you to first, actually, before I do go talk about this. So thanks to Sapphire for offering to help me out with the tank a couple of weeks ago on the Friday after she heard my headache of being mucked around with the pricing, obviously. Second person to thank would be, or big thanks, is to Andy at iReef, because what I didn't know, and probably Saf didn't know at the time of offering me that help, was that there was only one of these tanks in the UK in stock. And iReef, which is the new shop we did a shout out to a couple of Fridays ago up in Rochdale, they'd already reserved it because they've been selling quite a lot of tanks because they've just opened, people buying them, etc. So they'd actually reserved this tank and it was due to be sent up to them. And a big thanks, obviously, Steve at Exodus, Steve Fox, for helping me lift it into the car last week. So I got it from iReef that they'd already sort of reserved it, and I picked it up from Exodus, which is only 20 minutes from my house, to be fair, on Thursday last week. And it is one hell of a bit of kit, I have to admit that. I've always been curious. I've seen them in the flesh, but I've never seen them boxed up. But yeah, it weighed a ton. It had to be like a pallet truck, forklift truck into the boot of the car, which was great on entry, but on exit, I was like, how the hell are we going to take this out? that would have probably made better filming than anything else, to be fair, getting out of the car. But no, it's in. It's.
How was the build?
The build was good. One piece that it's nobody's fault, but I couldn't get the pipe work is not finished because there has been a little bit of a faux pas in the manufacturing process.
You do think that door is? That's bonkers.
Oh yeah.
Proper cabinet, yeah. It's nice.
Cabinet.
I like the fact that they're sunk into it.
Yeah. So you probably won't be able to see this from camera, to be fair. But if you're looking at like a piece of timber and you're trying to see if it's warped or bent, you can't really do it on this. But basically,
yeah.
Can you see the 90 there is on the whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So unfortunately, that means I cannot finish the part work off. I mean, I was in no plan to get it wet anytime soon. So I've got a lot I want to plan for it in terms of build and what I'm doing skate-wise, etc. But no.
Does that mean it just doesn't line up?
Yeah, it means it's literally cockeyed in the sump. Right. And you get a bracket with it, which is a really good idea, actually. I've not seen these before. So you get a bracket that sits in the sump. It's only like a 3D printed, like nylon bracket. So it basically sits in the sump. It's got a little ledge there. and that sits on one of the baffles, and then the two pipes. You've got your main drain and your emergency drain clip into it. But because that elbow has been glued on the, it means that you're having to force it in, which is never a good idea with pipe work. So,
have you tried seeing if you can crack the seal on the elbow? Because sometimes you can just do it.
it's solvent welded on.
Yeah, sometimes you can crack
Really?
that. So yeah,
I don't fancy doing it live, but
I think we should.
I think we shouldn't.
That sounds exciting. I like the
No,
idea of that.
doesn't.
Do
It
it.
No. So no, we got it Thursday. The building was what I think I got most of it done Thursday night. Dropped a bit of a clanger because they give you a black sort of foam base. So I put the tank on the cabinet, and then I realised that I'd not put the foam base on, so I had to take the tank back off. But yeah, then put the foam base on, and I had to use a little bit of like a spray adhesive to hold it in place. It just kept sort of like curling up on the ends. But it was a fairly straightforward build process, to be fair.
Did you put white along the bottom of the tank?
Not done that yet.
Ooh,
It's here. I've got that to do. That's
No.
the foam that holds
What?
it in.
No,
I'm not putting vinyl on, mate, because I'm putting sand in it.
But what if you want to take the sand out in the future?
That's not going to happen.
Or what if you have flow? What if you have flow that moves the sand, like I have, and exposes the glass?
Let's do it live.
I strongly recommend it. It's not going to make any difference to the setting up of the tank, but if you ever
I can do it. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think, in all honesty, it's gonna get wet before Christmas. Oh, maybe during the Christmas break. With what? What are you saying?
You'll do it
James?
next week. You know you will.
I won't do it next week.
You will.
I won't do it next week. I won't. Well, the rock I've got to get from Lee, because he's got the rock I bought off somebody a while ago, live rocks. I've got to make escape out of that. So I'm not rushing it. I've got two MP40s. We've got the skimmer. I've got the skimmer in situ. And we've got the power heads. I went with the NIOS one because it's a NIOS tank. It came from the people that I bought quite a bit of kit off them. They were shutting down a tank. So I got the 160, which is a bit overkill for a 300 litre system, but I don't have to run it. So it's in there if I need it. And we've got the two MP40s, which I think will be enough for flow on that. And
how are you lighting it, Tom?
This is the question. I don't know. Any suggestions, Ron?
Well, I cannot give anybody any advice on buying a Stratton. I've not even plugged it in. So I can't. It's beautiful. I want it to be everything I hope it will be, but I haven't plugged it in yet. It's just been too busy this week. And I didn't want to put a new light on a tank that has just been stripped and moved and stuff. No more stress. I don't want to change the lighting. I want to try and keep everything as stable as possible.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the aesthetics of the new light versus the old one?
I don't think there's that much of a difference.
I've not seen the old one in flesh before. I've only seen it on video.
I've only ever seen it in pictures as well.
Yeah.
What's your opinion, Josh? Do you have an opinion on it?
I like the old one.
Oh.
I like the diffused panel underneath it. I think it looks...
okay.
I'm a huge fan of diffused light. And I just think that uniform look of just light rather than lots of little different LEDs. I'm a big fan.
You believe that diffused light makes a difference? Because I watched Dong Zhu from Acro Gardens.
He is amazing. He's my favourite guest Keith ever has on, or had on, because Keith is calling his
I
own.
agree. However, Dong Zhu was the person that said diffusers do nothing.
No, I mean for me, visually.
Oh, you mean how the diffuser looks on the light?
How it looks and how it makes the tank look as well. I don't like all the caustic lines. I don't like the shimmer that everyone likes to get. Oh, we've lost Liam. I'm not a massive fan of shimmer. So diffuse, soft T5, when you just get that uniform, everything looks the same.
Yeah,
I love that. So diffused LED light for me is the one. I've got the diffusers on the Radeons. I didn't actually have a diffuser on the Metris because it doesn't come with one, and you can't add one. But it never really had much shimmer to it. It was quite impressive with the lack of shimmer. I don't know what the Strattons are like, I believe they're not supposed to give that much shimmer, which is maybe why they dropped the diffuser. But no, I did like the visual look of the diffuser.
I'm looking at the Gen 1 Stratton, and I see what you mean. It's a wee bit like what Apple do with their phones and their iPads. One generation has rounded edges, and the next has completely flat. So the Gen 1 had completely flat and a polished silver rim around it.
Yes.
Whereas the new ones are rounded and the same color as the body of the light.
Yeah.
So I was a huge fan. I still am. I think the Gen 1s, if they'd made the Gen 2 like the sizings the same with as the Gen 1 like aesthetic, I think they're just perfect. I think it's a perfect light.
What are you running?
I love my Radeon.
You got Radeons at the minute, haven't you? Behind
Me or Ron or both?
You. Sorry. Well, both of you running. Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to see them or not. You see them? They come up there. Yeah, there they are. Radeons and the T5s. And
is that your best light combo you've had then, would you say?
Yeah. So I had a discussion actually with someone. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent, Tom. You're talking about your week here, mate.
You're all right. I'm not about it. I'm not important. There's an app though for a Stratton. Just out of his curiosity.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, fancy that. Have you heard?
It's amazing, that, isn't it? 2024 and there's an app.
It's an app.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had someone ask the other day, actually. They said they were going to they had the same tank as me, and they were going to get an XR30. And I said, don't. I said, get 2 XR15s. And it was more, I think it was a cost-based decision for them. They ended up wanting the XR30. But yeah, I loved my, what do you call it? Not Stratton. Metris. I thought the Metris was a brilliant light. Super quiet. Like, you could say it was fan cooled. It never made a sound. Never made a single sound. It was amazing. Stupidly high power on it. But yeah, just being able to have the 2 XR15 set slightly further apart means that my coverage is far better. Like the stuff down the sides that was getting shadowed is no longer getting shadowed. So I love T5s, and unless I had a Stratton.
That's why I went with the Coral Cares though, for the price, because the pricing comparison to some of these that we're talking about this morning, it's half the price. I mean, you can get 2 Coral Cares.
Huge though.
But I think it depends on your application. If you're running it in a pelmet like you have, or like Liam has or I have, and it's out of sight, out of mind. Does the aesthetics really need to be that? It's not that ugly. It grows corals really well. It is very close, and it was made by a woman who is a reefer who works for Philips, which is one of the biggest brands on the planet from an electricals point of view. So they know what they're doing. And as we've talked time and time before, a lot of the LED technology that we see nowadays they invented it. So they know what they're doing. It's just that they don't splash everything all over Instagram like everybody else, so they probably don't get as much uptake from customers. But
they are super heavy as well, aren't they?
Yes, I thought that to Drippy the other day. He was on about changing from Radeons to something else. He's tempted with the Strattons because obviously AAC have been pushing it. They've got quite a few in stock. He was tempted with him. I was like, unless you can hang them from the ceiling, that is not a fixture you could put on a bracket because they'll end up in the tank, even though they are waterproof.
There is no bracket option. Just on the subject of fans, that is the main reason why I always wanted a Stratton, was because this is my desk. This is where I sit 7 days a week. And in the summer, the Radians, when the fans crank up, it can be quite loud, and they creak and crack as the temperature changes a wee bit. So this will be completely silent, which is the main reason why I wanted one.
Have you set yours at like a lowest? Have you messed on with the fan settings on your Radeons?
Yeah. I just leave it on auto because I assume Ecotech know how fast the fans need to be depending on the temperature of the light. So I don't like to mess with that.
I did change mine. I messed with mine and turned it down to the lowest set. But from what they said, if it got too warm, the light knows to shut itself off. Yeah. So it's like they thermally protect themselves anyway. So I was like, if I set it to the lowest temperature, or I'm speed setting, and it turns off, I know I've got to turn it up a little bit. And I've never, even in the high heats of summer, I've never had it turn off. So I'm trusting that they're doing all right. But yeah, like you say, the noise, even though they are really quiet compared to some of the older versions.
Mine drive me crazy.
I was just about to ask you, Liam, what are you running on your tank behind you?
4 Radeon XL30 Pros, and they're at 100%.
Which version?
Gen 5.
Gen 5.
And yeah, they're at 100%, and the fans are so noisy. Drives me insane.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's one of the reasons that I had to change it, because it is right next to. That's part of the reason it's got the pelmet on it as well. is because one, it does block out a little bit of noise, but two, because the lights are set slightly higher, it reduces that light spill. But I think if I ended up getting a Stratton, especially the old one, the diffused one, I'd be able to run it a lot closer to the surface, so I maybe wouldn't get as much light spill in the room, which would mean I wouldn't need to worry about the helmet. It is there out of necessity of noise and stopping the light shining in my eyes. The sofa is literally there. So,
are you happy with the lights, Liam, or are you thinking of changing, upgrading? You got 2 Vitaminis as well, sorry, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got 2 of the Delua Vitaminis inside. Yeah, I would change them. I'd probably coral carriers, to be honest. I think they're a nice looking light, unless these Strattons come up on AliExpress cheap.
Yeah,
they will.
True. Okay. A few comments I'm going to jump back to. So I was asking anything maintenance, how many tanks he looks after at the minute. Only a couple, as it's my second job. All right, okay, right, cool. And what do you do? What's part of the maintenance? I'm assuming it's going to be water changes, but just curious to know what's the routine and what do you charge? I'd be interested to know.
I'll bet you
will
would.
you travel?
I would, absolutely. Will you travel to Rotherham? People are asking if they can see Bruce, Liam. Is Bruce available or not right now?
We can have a look.
Bruce. Hello, Bruce. Where is he?
You can just about see him.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. Wow. Okay. And you...
That's a
Move, fish.
tank.
There he is.
There he is. There he is. There he is.
Morning,
That's where he
Bill.
sits all day long.
You got to say it in an Aussie accent.
Bruce.
And what's the
Hello,
plan with him?
Bruce.
What's the plan with him? Are you planning on getting a bigger tank for him? Or, because I know there is a little bit of whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, she said earlier my tank looks too small and I need to upgrade it.
Who did?
Okay. The wife.
Jazz? The wife?
Yeah, she's
all right, okay.
in the comments somewhere.
Wow.
Cool.
She is.
So I'll take
I
that as
always liked her.
permission. Yeah.
Permission to get a bigger tank. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Morning, Hayley. Morning, Hayley. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're well. Hope you have a good
Morning.
weekend. Happy Sunday to you. Let's have a look. What else have we got in here? Mr. Dorrit. Morning, Doug. Hope you're good.
Oh, Doug's
Nice
on.
for you to join us. Doug's on in the chat.
Max
Hey,
Spec
Doug.
E8.
Max Spec E8. I don't know that one. Let's have a look.
That's how I'm.
Max Spec E8. Why are they good, Doug? Why do you rate them so much? I'm sure there'll be some.
Is it not the new ethereal he's talking about?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Right, it is. Yes, we talked about those the other day, didn't we? The other week. Right, okay.
That is
They'll
a
be in the UK next month.
strange looking light.
I like it.
Is. Yeah.
It's not passively
Quite
cool
binary
though.
sort of, isn't it?
What's the coverage on them? Do you know? Anybody know what coverage is?
I-
Put it in the comments.
I just hope
yes.
that they've changed the app, to be honest.
What, it comes with an app?
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah, most of them do nowadays. No, the old Max Spec was diabolical.
Yeah, Synergy.
Yeah, that's the one.
What's it called? Yeah.
I gave up in the end and put it on a timer plug.
Oh, he's in Kent. He can't come and do me water changes for me. Dang.
So that light's got 276 LEDs.
274, we're saying here. 274, 276. Okay. I've
200.
not looked at it much. Yeah.
Doesn't actually give a coverage in this huge blurb about them here.
Sorry, I'm
The app's been improved, Doug's saying.
Oh, good.
am I late to did anyone else realise Max Spec make tanks? I've
Yeah.
never even known that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah. Learn something new every day, Joshua.
Yeah.
I think they
Go
launched
look
them
at
earlier
that.
this year.
Oh, dear.
A little bit more news, but
Three
late
coverage.
news. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that ethereal, if I'm honest. I think it looks a bit not
No.
cheap, but looks a bit gimmicky.
Tacky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Josh.
Any idea,
mean,
any idea on the price? Sorry, but any idea on the retail RRP on it?
I think they're
Well,
about 550, 500, around about
520.
Right, okay.
The older ones were quite cheap, to be honest. I had one that was about 250,
Yeah.
260 quid.
I'm not really unsure why it's got all the range.
529 quid. Right,
519 on Charterhouse.
right, okay.
Yeah, 519.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't really understand why there's all these random colourful LEDs. I mean, if people like that, then each their own. I'm not going to judge them for it.
Yeah,
but
you're not supposed to be looking at your tank.
yeah, I don't understand why you're going to be putting effort and time into putting something on a light that you, in theory, don't actually want to look at because you're supposed to be looking at your tank. So, yeah.
So I've been talking to Doug quite a lot recently because Doug does my ICP analysis. Shouts at me for dosing calquasa, says my barium's too high, calcium's too high. So I get told off. I think he's getting bored of sending me the same email every time I do an ICP. So
what about your blood pressure, Tom? How's that?
My blood pressure. I don't test that, mate. I really don't. That would be a total ICP for the blood test. I'd have to send a urine sample as well to get the full shebang. No, I am tempted to try the bolus method that they keep talking on about with fauna.
Well, Rob's making some changes this week. Yeah, he's making some changes based on Doug's conversation.
Yeah, Doug's bored of telling me the same stuff. Yeah. Saying your tank looks that well now, but I can see problems are coming. So I feel like it's one of those that if I don't do something about it now and change it, and it does go wrong, which he's quite confident it will, by dosing heavy amounts of calquasa, then I'm going to regret it. So yeah. But no, thanks, Doug, for joining us. I know you've got a busy schedule with the farm, etc., and your ICPs and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for coming in. Hope you're good. If there's anything you want to mention, drop it in the comments. I'll throw it up by all means, like I've been doing. Okay. So what methods are you guys running? Because I know you're on Modern Reef, Liam, aren't you? Are you liking it?
Modern Reef, calc, NIOS salt.
Yeah.
That's a good lot, really.
Happy with it?
Love it. Yeah, love it. It's quite nice
Okay.
and stable. I use the Trident. I do the Trident controlled dosing on it.
Okay.
So the Modern Reef, you dose it all in 4 equal amounts. Yeah. So I've just got them all set up to dose via the calcium uptake on the Trident. And it automatically adjusts it every day or every time it tests.
How often do you test your calcium or check the calibration?
Twice a day. No, 4 times
a day.
I change. Yeah.
Calibration. Sorry, Liam. Calibration.
Oh, calibration.
Yeah.
At the moment, every week and a half, 2 weeks.
And how you test your calcium? You manually test your calcium?
I manually test it, and then I
with
tell
titration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day, 4 times a day.
No, sorry. Trident tests 4 times a day. I test it every week, every 2 weeks, and recalibrate it as and when.
Okay.
Terrifies me, if I'm honest.
I wouldn't let a Trident do. I wouldn't let anything automatic tell me what he's putting in. I'd tell it what he's putting in. But
Trident is running my coral farm, guys, and it's doing an amazing job.
Are you doing auto dosing on that then? Are you letting 100%. It tell you? Are you?
Yeah. Yes.
And you let it adjust for you?
Yes.
It only adjusts a tiny amount. It's not like, chuck another 50 million.
Can you set it to like a maximum allowed percentage adjustment a day sort of thing?
Yep.
That seems a lot safer.
Yes.
It works very well. I'm happy with that.
I wasn't aware of that, actually.
It's so handy when I'm bagging up like 100 frags and I'm obviously taking a lot of coral mouths and consumption out of the tank. The Trident just takes over and sorts it all out for me.
And how long did it take you to set that up? Did you use an app or
a minute? Yeah, it's an app. Funny enough.
Rob's saying try to test calc twice a day, alk 4 times a day. That's what Rob's running at the minute.
I think that's your lowest option, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the lowest option.
Is it?
You can hack it now. I have heard that you can reprogram it and you can get it down below those, because people were all up in arms saying, "Oh, that uses that amount of reagent. What if I don't want it to use that amount of reagent?" So you can mess around with it now if you want.
Where's Rob with making his own reagents? Is he still doing that? Or was that somebody else I've been talking to?
He's making his own trace
Rob was going to do it,
his own
that
trace
was
elements.
it. Yeah,
that was it. Are you there, Rob, yet with it? Have you finished? This mad scientist, is he there? Or mind you, he's coral spawning as well, isn't he? He's getting that tank set up.
It's a busy boy. And he's got to get his chopper service this week as well. So
I love
Andy's helicopter. So
oh yes, sorry, Lee. Lee got his bag of goodies from Aquaforest the other
day.
He
did.
And he was like, kid on Christmas morning, my boxes have arrived. And then he got the face on because I sent him a picture of the box of the NIOS tank in the boot of the car and I outboxed him. but no, he's got his free stuff. He was more miffed. He didn't have any free T-shirts in it. He said
he did mention that.
Needs a little hoodie. Oh, wrong side. That side.
He needs a network hoodie. He does.
I hear Rob got mine. He's got two.
He did get yours. Yeah, because he came to when we went to Coral Freaks and we were having a sort of a bit of a send off before me and Lee came back up north. He came for a beer and he was moaning, as a lot of the Southerners do, that it was cold. I mean, me and Lee were just sat there, string vests, nipples out, everything, flat cap on.
Does not surprise me whatsoever. Yeah.
So I as a gentleman would to a fellow lady, I offered him a hoodie to keep him warm for the evening, and it just so happened to be yours, Ron. So I do apologise. There's one. There'll be one in the post up there soon for you. Don't you worry. Rama's saying his Trident controls dosing for me. Just a shame my Trident needs a service and seems to slip every 2 weeks. See, I've not got much experience with the Tridents, to be fair. What's that you're showing us?
That's the Trident service kit that I will send to Rama if he wants.
Oh, that's jolly nice of you.
Yep.
For the old price of $49.99.
Well, the retail they retail at 90, so I'll do him a deal at 85.
Perfect. He's getting an online discount. So who's running the Trident? So Ron's got a Trident. Liam's got a Trident. I haven't got a Trident. Well, I have got the Trident.
Well, you have got a Trident. Yeah.
I could have said I hadn't got one. I have got a Trident, but I've not set it up.
Are you going to set it up on the NIOS now?
Lee might.
Oh,
I don't
there's
know.
a fair point.
I don't know. Well, that cabinet is what I've bought for all the toys or whatever you want to call it. All the electrics is going in there, out of the way from the sun, because as you know from the tank tour, not that mine's the tidiest, not as tidy as it used to be.
Hold on, it's dynamite. It's so nice.
So, yeah, I just want it clean and tidy. So all the wires and crap and everything, flashing lights are going in there, and hopefully just the sump of the skimmer. Anyway, Dave saying ABC reagents, no issues. So that was what I was going to ask you about. Sorry. So you two are running Tridents. All jokes aside, what reagents are you running? Are you both on this one? The
ABC.
Yeah, love it.
Game changer.
Yeah. If anybody else in the comments is running the ABC, please drop it in the comments. I'd be curious to know.
I think Lee just got his first batch. Rama has just got his first batch.
Yeah, Rama's got his first batch. Yeah. And you said it was, how much cheaper did you say it was? Just for comparison.
Unbelievably cheap.
Yeah.
Like a year's worth of reagents for about just under 200 quid, I think, imported and with taxes added and stuff like that. So I think
is that enough for your farm? Sorry, is that like do you use more than the average reefer, or is that just
I run
normal?
I run 2 Tridents, but no, I only run the lowest amount of tests daily. I only do the 2 and the 4 a day. I don't find I need to. I think Lee was talking about testing like a crazy amount every day for stability, which I do understand, but I've not found much fluctuation with just doing the standard 4 alk a day.
Lee's got the Alcatronic as well, I think.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
He has. I can fit. What have we got here? I can see a one-arm reefer controller board on the cards. Yes, that would be great. It would be good. That would be good. He is the man in it when it comes to his little toys and gadgets and controller boards.
God, yeah.
Man.
You could do
the amazing thing with one arm.
You what, Liam? I know. Yeah, really good.
Amazing.
What's Rob saying? Waiting for Jonas to do the ones for the MP Trident.
I have heard he's on.
Lee saying, just mixed my first batch. Let's have a look. Here we go. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm going to set it up. I'm going to set it up behind me, on the tank behind me. I don't know what else I'm going to do with it, to be honest with you. So many ideas. The biggest conversation at the minute is what I'm going to put in it. Obviously, water, rock, sand. Yes, well, I'm having sand. I'm having sand. Sand for the thumbs up.
I'm a sand fan.
You are?
Oh yeah, I love the sand.
Yeah,
but I get bare patches, so that's why I've wrapped it white.
Hence with the white. Yeah. See, I've got that on the DT downstairs, so I don't have that issue. But I will do it. To be fair, mate, I've got time to do it.
I love sand. It's just the maintenance I don't enjoy, and I'm lazy. I know I am.
Yeah, so your size tank is going to be a nightmare to vac all of that.
Yeah, try cleaning some
Try doing mine.
sand that's 3 foot away. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Rob. I was thinking of doing this on your recommendations with the torches, but it's a bit too copy of Viking Reefing, to be fair to him, because that's what he did with his, and he actually has got the same tank, so it would be a bit. And I will put some sticks in. I just know I will, because although it sounds like, I know, yeah, I am into the SPS, so I've got to put sticks in it. So, but we're going to put, so it's going to be mixed reef, is what I'm thinking, but mainly fish that we've not had before. That's the agreement with Mrs. So, yeah, we'll see.
Like cuttlefish or something random like that.
No, and no shark, and no other.
I didn't say shark. No. They're not allowed in the hobby.
No. Floating reef. I thought about it. I don't know. They don't do much for me.
Been and gone.
They just create a big shadow. And
it was a trend. It's gone.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah,
I like them. I do like them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
My nano was a semi-floating looking escape.
Yeah.
So is mine. It's got a great big cantilever, so it kind of
octopus. No, I'm not putting an octopus in it.
Yes,
I am going to get some LPS Rama. I am. I'm definitely going to get some torches. I'm hoping to get some off Lee. So Lee's got a nice selection of torches. He's DT, so I'm going to pinch a few off him and put him in the garage to settle. And then when this is ready, rocking and rolling, hopefully put them in here. But in terms of fish, I don't know. A few different fish. Kaz wants a water flame angel because we've never had one. Bit of bright orange.
Beautiful.
My favourite fish.
Ideally, kind of obviously a small one because the size of the tank, so we could grow to size. And then I think we're just going to be a bit boring. We're going to have a couple of wrasses that we've not had before, so we'll have to get a lid for it, which is something I was going to talk to you about actually this morning. Have any of you seen the prices of some of the custom lids?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Oh my God!
Yes,
and there was like you would have felt the ripples of the earthquake all the way up in Scotland when I fell off the sofa the other day. I was looking, I was like, how much for a lid? I'll keep the bleep button alone, but wow, because I mean they look sexy and it's nice to have them with your little pull out ports for food or whatever. But when you compare it to your D&D, just 50 quid, whatever they are, well, not just, it's still a lot of money, 50, 60 quid for a tank cover. But these are like £300.
Yes.
It's insane.
And they are made in a way that if you then change what light you want and the bracket then forms slightly different on the back of your tank, you can't cut these very easily.
Wow.
Everything has to be in specific places. You have to send very specific measurements. If you add one cable in the tank, it changes everything.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I've not looked that far into him, but as soon as I saw the price, typical Yorkshire, I just went, not happening.
That's exactly what I did to my LFA. I'm normally a just order it kind of guy. I'll deal with the price later on, but then he actually sent me the quote and I went, nope.
Go on. Can we have a guess then? So this was for the tank behind you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going... We'll take it in turns. I'm going...
What size is the tank, sorry, just before we start?
It's only a Reefer 300 XL.
So it's
not big.
Yeah. No, it's not even... It's not 4 foot, it's 3 foot, isn't it?
Yep. No, it's not.
So
it's not even full 3 feet.
Talk us quickly through the spec then. What were you asking for? So obviously the cover.
Just an acrylic cover with no cutouts except for one heater cable, because I have a heater in the tank and in the sump, temperature probe in the tank, temperature probe in the sump for redundancy to make sure. If there's only a probe, because everyone's like, why is there a heater in that beautiful tank? Get that out of there. That's ugly. I'm like, no. If you're only heating the sump, then the tank just gets stone cold. So, or boils, one of the two.
Okay.
So it was just an acrylic with the net and one tiny little cable cut out.
Did you go for Ronnie's Reef being like engraved in the corner of it? No.
Cammy's Reef, you mean?
Cammy's corals. No. Okay.
No.
So I'm going to say there's a few comments. There's a few suggestions in the comments here that I will read out in a minute before we announce it. I'm going to say 350 quid. I'm going for.
Which company did you go with, or are we not disclosing that?
I'll be honest, I can't even remember the name. Is Clearview one of them or something? It's a name like that. I can't remember.
Go on, Liam. What are you going for? How much?
289.99.
Because the 99's relevant. Okay. 289 quid. Okay.
For 290 for Liam, because we can't have odd numbers like that. I'm going to go with 220.
Oof.
Right, okay. I'm going to read out some of these comments. We've got a few more here. So Rama's going 375. Pelagics, Rob's going 425. Dave's gone 300. Go on then. Mini drum roll.
Mini drum roll is that I don't know if Rob wants to land his chopper right now before he celebrates, but he is almost to the penny correct.
Wow.
Oh,
and that is why I looked at the guy in the shop and went, nope. No chance.
For a 3-foot tank?
Yes.
Come on, what was the exact price then? In pence?
It was like 420 quid or something.
Has he just plucked that out of the air and just gone, yeah, that'll do. That's the number today.
It has been known.
It's because do you know why though?
I'm sorry, but it's just insanity.
It's because they send a piece of acrylic or perspex up to Cyclops from the X-Men, and he just lasers it out with his eyes.
See, to be fair, posting that is crazy fragile, right? And I have heard they are really fragile, which put me off even more. Because I whip mine off all the time and sit it on the floor and all the rest of it. But then I just got the Red Sea version, cheap as chips. Mm-hmm. As long as you take your time stretching the netting, it's totally fine. Comes with all the little roller and all the rest of it. And then I just 3D printed my own feeding hatch, which works absolutely perfectly. So
that's the same price as an MP40.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's absolutely insane. Wow. And I have to say that no way in any world is that worth it. And you'll still see the net. It's not that the clear acrylic is going to be invisible. It's not. It will still get water on it. It will still get splashes of salt and things on it. So don't be under any illusions, folks.
The clear, I don't know if I think it was BRS did a video on the clear netting versus the black netting, and the black netting actually traps less light. So the clear netting will reflect it, so you'll get more glare from the clear netting, and it also reflects light away from the tank. Whereas the black netting, you get better light penetration into the system. It's only like small percentages, but the black netting is better in terms of
it draws
actual practical use.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. Guess who's got a load of spare netting in his mother's cupboard? I wonder. Oh, Lee, you never fail to amuse me, even on a Sunday morning.
Well, they have to get them into the basement somehow.
Oh, good point from East Coast Reefer. White netting doesn't show salt marks. I suppose it's how anal you want to be with it, I suppose. But yeah, good point there.
It doesn't, but because it reflects the light, so it does glare and catch your eyes more.
Yeah, the clear stuff that Red Sea have, it does it. The light goes into the transparent netting, and then it gets
like refracted
amplified.
Yes, like fiber optic almost.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But this is sorry, mate.
Go on, you're right.
Ron, you've got black seals on your tank, same as mine. I actually think the black metallic aluminium framing looks better because it all matches in. It sort of frames it. Whereas for yours, Tom, you've got clear silicone on your tank, so maybe a clear one.
Only on the front edges.
Yeah, but you're not going to see it from the back, to be fair,
True.
yeah.
True.
But yeah. I think the black looks quite clean with it.
Yeah. Right, seeing as we've got 20 minutes left, or we'll probably push it to half an hour, seeing as though we've got Liam on as a guest. Are you all right there, Liam?
Crack on.
Still all right? Crack on. Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking you're still with us. Not boring you.
Yeah, I'm all right. No.
Okay. No car alarms going off, 5 alarms going off in Doncaster yet? No? Stereo?
No, it's Doncaster, not Rotherham.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it'd be a good conversation, especially to involve the viewers. What piece of equipment or reef equipment, we have sort of talked about this before, do you think is overrated and not good value for money? Since we were just talking about the lids then at £4. What do you think is on the market at the minute that we have to buy that is heavily overpriced or we think is, not worth value for money? Anything
that we have to buy?
Well, it's a necessary, so it's like a piece of equipment that you probably have to buy. You think,
or dry goods as well.
Go literally. The stage is yours.
Tropic marine salt.
Okay, explain.
My LFS has now got it back in stock. The price has gone up. It's now £115 for 25 kilos.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's nearly 2 buckets of NIOS.
Yeah, exactly that. That's exactly my argument. I was like, why on earth would anybody buy it when you can get literally 2 buckets of NIOS? And they won't get NIOS in stock.
Why? Why won't they?
Because they've just spent a fortune on tropic marine salt.
Yeah, right, okay.
How much did you say it was?
True.
So £115 on the shelf.
Yeah, you can get it online for 90. Like that's one thing
It's
that
still a lot though, that Josh. 90
it
quid
is,
for a bucket
but
of salt.
it's been, that's not massively increased on what it has been recently. It's been around the 80s for a long time, isn't it? But it is expensive. There's no debate to be had
It
about it.
certainly is if you've got a big tank. It's down to the size of your tank. I mean, we've got a guy doing a tank tour later on today, and he's got a tiny little tank, and 1 bucket of salt lasts 5 months, which changes everything, you know. But then you look at Tom's tank and you go, £115 a bucket? No.
Yeah, that is not happening.
No.
That is not happening. And to be fair to Jim, when we did the tank tour, and he was talking about cleaning the gravel and the filter sock, which I've recommended to people numerous times. I don't know why I don't do it myself. It is something I'm gonna do. So I'll probably go back to doing water changes on a bi-weekly basis, not weekly. And if I do, probably smaller amounts, just because of cost. I can't afford, that kind of money. I mean, what do I get? I get 2 water changes to a bucket, so it's 30 quid a water change for me.
Once you take over the kitchen, though, for your fish room, you'll be going automatic water change, and you'll be buying it by the pallet.
It'll still be out there.
It's over here somewhere. I have got the Kamoa one over here somewhere. I don't even know where it is.
In a box.
In a box. Just forgotten about. Anyway, we've asked people's opinions, so let's jump back in. So Liam's saying salt. Liam, Ron, Josh, anything that you think is heavily overpriced for what it is?
Just mostly all the hardware. When you actually strip something down and look at what it actually is, bare bones. No, but it's my only hobby. So, it's the only thing I really spend my money on. We don't really have much of a social life. We don't have kids. I don't gamble. I don't drink to excess. I don't take drugs.
A Scotsman that doesn't drink to excess?
No. Wow. It's not good for anyone.
You're not doing your country proud there, mate. Sorry.
You don't take drugs. Now that confuses me, Ron.
Yeah.
East Coast Reef is saying almost everything is massively overinflated. Ecotech stands out. Yeah. I suppose when you look at the recent what's been happening with the Jebao, with the Power Edge, probably, and with what we've been talking about this morning about the lights in comparison, there is an argument. I would love somebody to buy the Stratton though, and that light we looked at Alibaba and literally take it apart on video and go, right,
It'll happen. Someone will do it.
This one is this much. I bet you. Do you think they're going to have the same circuit boards and whatever you want to call it inside?
I mean, how different can it be though? I mean, if most stuff is manufactured in one factory. So I heard years ago that just nearly every OLED screen in the planet comes from like 2 factories or something. Yeah. People buy TVs, and slap them in their surroundings. And then sure they have their own UIs and things like that. But other than that, it's the same technology that is going in your eyes, So I don't doubt it's the same for LEDs, really.
I think customer service in terms of hardware is a big thing.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
I think that was the last time we were on. I think we were talking because that was the last stream we did was when we were first talking about the Jebao wave maker, and you pay half the price, but in the lifespan of it, are you going to end up buying 3 of them and end up paying more? Might not. I've got that's what I'm saying. Look, say again.
It's about the same price, 3 of them for one MP40.
Is it a third? Is it?
It's not far.
It's just change them every couple of months. It's fine.
But that's the thing. It's just like I'd rather have. It depends how many times is it going to go wrong. It could break in like a month. It could break in a year. Regardless what happens, you're going to get that support. And I personally, all my Ecotech stuff's lasted really well, so I've not had that to really concern myself with. There's been a few things that I've asked some questions about, and they've sorted out straight away. But yeah, like you say, if it's Jebao, you know for 100% you are not getting any support on that, and you are throwing it in the bin as soon as it breaks.
To be fair, AliExpress, I've had to send things back before, and because it's like an eBay setup, you message AliExpress itself, or you contact the seller. They're bang on. I've never had any problems returning items, refunds, anything that's gone missing.
I think with this Joel Jebao thing and the lights and the power, I think it's just literally a crowd thing. As soon as enough people start buying them and saying positive things, the rest will follow, because that's what happens. So I think it's just a time thing. I think you'll see more often more people using them. I mean, some people are saying that there's especially with the power head, that the suckers on it are a better feature than on the original MP40. But I think things have got to change. Like you said, Ron, earlier, it's good for the hobby. It shakes it up a little bit. You know, people don't have as much dominance in market control. So
I think people also have to. This is going to be a really unpopular opinion, and I am not some mad raving capitalist because I own my own business, but people have to understand that the economy needs to keep going. If people don't spend money somewhere, the whole thing collapses. So, you know, you want something, you can afford it, you know, your kids aren't starving, go and buy it. Don't moan about it. Get your finger out, get it done. You want it, buy it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? It's like you think, I agree with you there, Ron, but I think companies have got so almost greedy, I think, in the last 5 years, I would say, last 5-6 years, it's just been just bonkers increase. And you're right, it does need to help the economy. But when the prices have increased the rate they have, and then nobody gets a wage rise, it stagnates anyway.
Don't talk to me about wages.
People physically can't buy things because they just can't. You know, they can't even afford it in the first place because they've been outpriced, and that's where the cheaper stuff is going to start coming in, because wages haven't increased enough. The cost of everything else has increased loads, so people go, I can't afford that anymore, and it stagnates. So buy the cheaper stuff because you can afford it. So I would agree with you. I think everything in this hobby is overpriced.
Yep.
Absolutely everything. I don't think there's a single thing where you could turn around, even at the Jabal stuff. You think if it's non-branded stuff, you're still talking hundreds and hundreds of pounds for equipment and things. And it's like, it's a piece of plastic with a fan and some LEDs in it and a Wi-Fi chip. Like, these things you could buy for absolute pennies. Yes, someone's had to assemble it, but it's done in mass. Like, these things aren't. Then the markup on them will just be insane, even for the Jabal one. So it's just like.
You say about you can say that about most things. You could say that about most things, couldn't you? Mobile phones,
you could,
TVs, anything. I'm just going to jump into the comments. A few people that have been answering questions. It looks like everybody's talking about salt by the looks of it. But before
that bombshell.
Before I do go on to that, Doug was asking when we're getting Mo on the stream. So this is the guy that I thought I knew, didn't know, then I remembered I did know a couple of months ago for everybody's entertainment again. And Dougie's rightly saying, I mean, Mo from Bristol, not the one from Leicester. It wasn't Leicester, and I apologise to him. So, I've got Dr. Rob on the case, Doug. So, we're just waiting for some dates for him to come on. So, looking forward to getting him on the channel and talk to him about his setup and going through the whole build, which will be
amazing.
Will be amazing.
That would be
cool. Rob's also saying about his salt. He might make his own salt next year. Something he might look at. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, I'll definitely be trying some of that.
You've got to love Rob. He's absolutely amazing. Super intelligent, super funny, great sense of humor, and just jumps in and gives everything a crack.
Well, you two would make a really good tribute act to the Proclaimers, wouldn't you? Just like an older version.
Well, I tried to book some venues for some Proclaimers, but he is Santa all December.
Because you could walk 1,000 miles and he could walk 1,000 with his Zimmer frame or his helicopter.
Yeah.
Anyway, Marine Josh, I am Marine Josh. Happy Sunday to you. Thanks for joining us in the stream.
Another Josh.
I spend more time with you guys than my wife. Nothing wrong with that, I'm sure.
Agreed.
TM Pro is over $100 a box here for now, from what I've seen. Lee's saying Aquaforest is 80 only. Dave's saying my LFS price matches. My bucket of salt lasted me 6 months, prefer 10% water change a week. I need to start making my own salt. There's still a lot of people buying salt from shops these days, do you think? Because I don't
think that is crazy. I've never done it.
I bought water in the early days, but I've never bought ready-mix salt water. Never, not once.
I've got a few sort of friends that I speak to that are quite newish hobbyists, and they find mixing their own salt such an anxious task that they're going to screw it up. They're going to do something wrong. You know, it's not going to be as good as what the shop sells it. And
with the greatest respect to them, I'd say it's the other way around. you got more chance of it being, and that's not knocking LFSs, but they're
No, I know
busy
what you're
people. You know,
I had no idea how difficult it was to measure salinity, right? I thought it was like, why can no company make an absolute steadfast salinity reader, right? Because I've tried the Milwaukee, the Hannah, blah, blah, blah. And just last week, I got the Tropic Marin hydrometer. Oh my God. All these years. So it turns out my Hannah pets are consistently wrong, which is what you want. So now I'm using them. I'm mixing my salt to 1023, which is 1025. But my tanks have been running at 1027 for I don't know how long. So, yeah, spend money on a correct salinity, anything. Just get the right piece of kit.
What do you even have to get here?
The Tropic Marin glass hydrometer.
So I got, mine was literally like, I think it was less than a tenner. It was a Wilco one for making
50
alcohol.
quid?
Yes.
Yeah, that's I'm giving you a budget option here, which is a shock.
Sorry, Josh.
Me.
Wow.
Yeah. It was before Wilco decided to go bust. It was the budget version from them. Obviously, it's calibrated to a low. I think it was calibrated to 20 degrees Celsius rather than like 25. But I made a known quantity of salt with a known quantity of water, which I knew was exactly right. So it was like 38 grams to a litre, was heated to the correct temperature, double check the temperature, and then put the hydrometer in. When it got to, it had settled, I then marked off on that. I think it settled at a slightly different reading as to what we'd want, but it settled at that. And that's what I just do everything to now. So I marked it off with a pen, and every time now it's just test it with that, because it's never ever going to change.
Don't drop it, man.
Beauty.
It's so fragile. Look how thin
it looks. It looks it.
Look how thin that bit is. That's insane.
Wow.
But so I bought a cylinder for it to bob it in because obviously the frag tank isn't deep enough to bob hydrometer in. So it is temperature sensitive. You do have to make sure your water is around about the perfect temperature. But yeah, I couldn't believe I've been mixing my salt too low for.
What's Doug saying here? Mo says he'll schedule something with you soon. That'll be a great episode. Yeah, thanks, Doug, for messaging him. That'll be good. Get him on for a good tour. What's that, Josh? How much was that, Josh? Out of curiosity.
I think it was less than a tenner.
Right, okay.
Less than a tenner, but it's calibrated to, I think it was 20 degrees. Yeah, 20 degrees. So it reads different to what Rob's will, which is why I've marked it. I think it was like 1.022 or something, is actually 1.025.
There's a table online that you can use to manipulate your reading depending on what the temperature is.
That would be a nice little resource to have.
Yeah.
See, a few questions in the comments. So going back to what we're talking about with the light, saying in terms of the comparison. So Eastcock Reef is saying you think it'll be identical inside. Yeah, I think I'm really curious to see that when somebody does it. Dave's saying, Rob and Dave are saying Telegram.
That's exactly what I was thinking would do it.
They will not be ripped off in the hobby and let the hobbyists know where their findings. Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch that for sure. Rama's saying if the LEDs are actually what they say they are, I can't see what difference it would make other than power delivery. Swap your power heads as often as Ron changes his tank. Going back to the MP40s. Not speaking from experience, with Ecotech, maybe they last forever and it's worth it. Yeah, I suppose.
Nope.
No, go on, Liam. Go on.
No, I've had more problems with MP40s than I have any other wave maker I've owned. I've got two on my 5-foot tank, and I've swapped them out 3 times now. Came down.
How long have you had them? How long have you had them?
Year and a half, 2 years.
That seems strange.
I won't swear. I'm not allowed.
Okay. And what issues have you had? Just give us a brief.
Just noisy. Noisy. I had one that turned off and would not turn back on. Something happened with the power supply or something.
Or the red light, ring of death and all that.
Yeah, that's the one. I just don't think they're very good. I'll stick to Jabeo, thank you.
Right, okay. Ian's saying it'll definitely be different inside.
I think it will. I think the components the LEDs might be the same, but I think the components inside that are controlling it and running it, I'd imagine, would be different.
Right, okay.
I'll maybe just buy one and just see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Do it.
What's John saying? The Reefers Network, what about things you need that are cheap, i.e. Inkbirds? Yeah. I've got an Inkbird, to be fair, off Rob. I've not used it yet, to be fair.
Here's a surprise.
In a box. In a box.
Hell.
Oh, God.
Is there an app? Should we go there? No. Anyway, Ian said you have to be inside. Tim's saying I should experiment with the tank, put all cheap gear on it, see how long it lasts, and see if it grows corals.
I tell you what, if you have you ever seen like the Japanese reefers and that with like then they, you know that the AliExpress screw-in LED bulb things that I've got like
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen some insane SPS tanks run with those.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I did want to try this. Go on, mate, say that again.
Oh, sorry, on you go.
No, go on.
No, I bought one of those.
That's a typical Englishman. Yeah.
I bought one of those bulbs for growing phyto. Actually, it was really good.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But then
they look class.
Yeah, I just couldn't get rid of all the phyto. It was just growing insane, so I had to shut it down. I couldn't use it all.
Wow.
Pouring it down the sink, it was such a waste. I did quite enjoy learning how to do it though, because at first I absolutely burned the hell out of the phyto with far too much power.
Lux.
Yes.
Ian saying all these Alibaba Radion, that's completely different inside, he reckons. Ooh, might have to have a gentleman's handshake on this, Ian. See who's right. We'll have to have a bit of a bet on this. I reckon they're going to be the same, or there's going to be significant similarities. Oh, phone call. Oh, is that Alibaba themselves ringing Ron on that queue? Was that your solicitor on now saying you can't comment? Were you allowed not to comment on that by the solicitor? Was that who it was? Or was it Alibaba himself?
The cafe till's not working, so I'm just logging in to fix it. Here we go.
Oh, bummer.
There we go. I've just restarted. There we go. And they're now ringing up a Scampi and chips. There you go.
Nice.
You heard it live.
You heard it live. Gaz is going back to the salt conversation we're having here. Gaz is using iQuatics Pro Reef Salt.
I heard
he's
about
mentioned
yes.
this.
So it is the cheapest salt in the world. Now I ran it.
No, let me stop you there. Sorry, let me stop you there. That you can't. That isn't necessarily true, is it, Liam? No. Shall we start with Liam first before we go on to you, Ron?
Go on.
I did a similar sort of thing. Got fed up paying a ridiculous amount of money for salt, so I went searching through the internet and I found a company in the UK that makes seawater salt. I was like, okay, have a look into it. It's all manufactured by them. It's completely pure. It's got no traces in it. It's it's just ridiculous. I might as well have chucked it on the pavement.
How did it mix, Liam?
It didn't.
I was about to say, did it? Yeah, but it didn't.
It just settled all at the bottom of the container for 3 days.
Rock salt.
Eventually, yeah, it was literally rock salt.
Oh wow.
But they were selling it as fish tank stuff. They said, "Oh, it's fine for growing lobsters and stuff like this." But yeah, okay. So it's not the cheap, but it was about 25 quid for 25 kilos. It was.
It's impressive.
And then he saw Doncaster Borough Council were using it on the roads in January. On the local gritter, pouring it into.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, Aquatics. I run my 7-foot system. That's the one, yeah. So I ran my 7-foot system at home on Aquatics salt for about a year. And the only thing I will say is the traces and things like that were very low in it. Now, I didn't test for traces back then because I was reasonably new in the hobby. But what I will say is the difference in the corals after a water change was unbelievable. So after a water change, everything just looked amazing. So
after using the salt?
Yeah, sorry. After a water change with this salt. So it obviously had stuff in it that the corals needed and craved. And then within 2 weeks, it was completely gone and the corals were all starting to kind of retract. And then you do a water change and it would look incredible again. So yeah, it's definitely low in something.
I think that's the traces, isn't it? If it sucked them all up and then everything slowly sort of wilting away. And
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And it was inconsistent with some stuff as well when I eventually did start testing. But I mean, 44 quid for a refill bag to fill your bucket up again, as opposed to 115 for Tropic Marin, which actually is lower in alk. I don't know. I don't know. There's something to be said for some of it.
Definitely. Gaz's just about to do a 200 litre water change on a Sunday afternoon. Good luck with it, Gaza. Hope it goes well. What's Norfolk Reefers saying? Hate to say it, tank's been running 18 months. I buy it from LFS, TM Tropic Marine Pro Salt. However, I'm planning to move over to my own salt, and he wants to use the NIOS as well. Yes, he's getting
Good
a lot
salt.
of momentum. NSB Reefs, thanks for joining us. You can use the case of the TM hydrometer to put your tank water in. Oh, he's saying the holder that you get it in, fill it with water, and then put that in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's quite a tight fit.
I thought mine was the same, mate. I thought the same. It's too tight.
It won't bob quite as freely.
All right, okay. Don't know. I haven't got one in front of me. Doug's saying rusty wet sides show up on ICPs a lot of the time. So obviously Doug's the UK consultant for fauna marine in terms of ICPs. If you send one off, it'll be Dougie Boy that replies to you on an email. And yeah, I suppose he's seen a lot of them in his time, so we'll see a lot of similarities and repeat offenders. Right, interesting. That's obviously we're talking about MP40s or power heads here. North Reefs. I've never had issues with algae salt, but wanted more control, and my knowledge in the hobby is growing daily. Algae salt. Don't understand that. Anyway. Reef, you might have to rephrase that, Norfolk Reefer.
No, we should be able to work this out, gents. Come on. Never had an issue with algae salt. But want more control and my knowledge.
Maybe it was supposed to be just he's never had an issue with any salt, but wants more control and knowledge in the hobby.
There we go. Let's go with that.
Okay. Maybe. We'll try. We'll see. He'll put another comment in and we'll find out.
Yeah. Rob's asking how your mangroves are doing, Ron.
Amazing root growth, like halfway down the tank, but zero leaves. And I did hear that Zach over in Great Lakes Corals in Michigan, he grows roots like mad, but no leaves. So, yeah, I don't know if it's a seasonal thing. I wouldn't have thought so, considering they're completely artificially lit. No idea.
Where are they on? Where are those? Where are your mangroves? Because obviously not in that tank behind you. Where are they?
So, years ago, I had a velvet outbreak. Cut a long story short, jumped on Gumtree, went and picked up a little clear seal tank just to throw all my fish in quickly to try and save them. Saved a few of them. And that tank is kind of like just a quarantine / observation tank. Yeah. So I'm floating a bit of foam there with some mangrove plants in there. The roots are growing absolutely wild, which is amazing, but no leaves. But they're quite slow.
Patience, Ron.
Yes. I think Ian was saying he was going to put mangroves in his because he's having like a shallower lagoon style. Is it something? Do you think rave them or not? Mangrove tanks or mangroves in a tank?
I think they're absolutely brilliant. And my plan is that when we get the new building in February, is I'm going to have a display tank with mangroves in them to try and bridge that gap between horticulture and aquaculture, which is perfect for us. So yeah.
Okay. Ian saying, always remember where the sample they used to calibrate that came from, as salt levels are hugely different across different parts of the sea. I think he's talking about your hydrometers here.
How much different, Ian, are we talking? Because maybe in sort of like coastal areas near rivers and things, you might have different levels, but I can't imagine it's going to be massively different across the ocean. Only in areas where fresh water, or you might have high levels of precipitation where you get a heavy rain, might change the surface levels, but I can't see they're hugely different across the ocean.
Norfolk Reef is saying you got that right, by the way, Josh. So well done. Well figured out. Rob's saying 140 quid every 3 weeks on salt for his tanks when he's doing water.
Spare change to Rob, that.
No, spare change. Wow. Morning, Techers. Hope you're good, mate. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you had a good weekend. What's Doug saying here? Cheap salt is a no-no. It has lots of stuff missing. I've seen it on ICPs. Yes. Yeah, that salt that Liam got was that cheap. It didn't have any salt in it.
Well, I assume they're selling it so cheap, not because they're a charity. I assume there's stuff missing from it.
They add nothing. It's just calcium chloride, or whatever it is, magnesium
sodium
flakes.
chloride.
Sodium chloride.
Yeah, that's the one. Sodium chloride.
Mm.
Yeah, that was it. Nothing. No.
You see, going back to what I was trying to get us to talk about earlier about what we think is sort of expensive and not necessarily shouldn't be expensive. I when I first got my first skimmer, and I know I'm a big advocate of skimmers and certain brands, but when I looked at it, I thought it's just a plastic cylinder with a pump in it. How on earth can that be worth £4, £5, £6, whatever £100? You know, I mean, the manufacturing process I'm not aware of, so I'm sure there is one, obviously, and it costs money to make and design and blah blah blah. But it's plastic.
I mean, the straight bodied ones, the old school straight bodied ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like the manufacturing process on that surely isn't other than a bit of solvent welding.
Oh yeah, the manufacturing of the cylinders was already happening all over the world.
Yeah,
exactly.
It wasn't a specialized tooling of some description. It was just a piece of acrylic tube.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
know you can make your own. Sorry, Liam. I know you can make your own. I just think, are they really worth what some of these are these days?
And we all keep buying them.
And we all keep buying them. Loser.
Has anyone ever seen the wooden air stone ones? Wooden air stone skimmers. Yeah. Love them. Have you ever seen that, like the little glass tube ones that people have when they have like a little plastic tube going out and talking into a container as the collection bottle? I think they're cool. I always wanted to try that on a nano.
Yeah, skimmers are ridiculously expensive in my opinion. Yeah.
Everything we could
here, and I have no idea. It's been in my drawer for years. Never used one, and I don't know how it got there. There you go.
There we go. I think we're getting ready to wrap up now. If there's nothing else you want to talk about, Liam, any future plans with the tank before we move on? Before we wrap up, what's your plans for the next 3-6 months?
Another shark?
No, nothing really. No, I'm not having another shark.
An octopus.
I would.
Well, after this morning stream, looks like he's having a bigger tank, so he's got that to think about and design.
Yeah, I'll make me own this one.
Yeah.
I would, yeah. I've got a 4-foot by 3-foot stand sitting somewhere. I need to go and get, and then I'm going to attempt to make my own at some point. Yes, it's in storage.
Cool. Okay.
See, I'd be terrified to make my own.
Would you?
Oh yeah. If it was a nano tank, I'd be like, yeah, all right, I feel all right with that. But a 4-foot tank, imagine the pain failure on a 4-foot tank.
Infinitely easier to blame somebody else.
Yes.
And claim off them.
Yes.
So what size would you go for then? If you are gonna upgrade, what size are you thinking?
If it was to upgrade this one, the next one up from this is like a koi pond. I'd go for one of the circular. Pond? Yeah, they do one EZ ponds or something like that. They do a circular EZ halo, I think they call it.
What, you're going to recess it in the lounge floor?
I'll probably put it in the work unit when I get around to getting one.
People would love that.
Can you imagine? It takes water.
Oh.
Jazz, where are the kids?
Swimming with a shark, yeah. But no, that would be the next upgrade.
Right, okay. Anything that you're planning on buying over Christmas, Black Friday sales? Anything you got your eye on?
Yeah, I need one of the D&D function pumps. I've got closed loop system on this. Yeah. And I've got one that's running both outlets, and ideally I want two pumps. Okay.
So not that one's failed or given up on you. You want?
No. They're amazing. I really like it. It's yeah.
Cool. So possibly a bigger tank, a return pump. Any corals you got your eye on in the next couple of months? When the bank balance or your pocket money level allows you to? Anything you want to go and get? No.
No, I mean, I think the next upgrade will probably be lights. I'll keep looking at the coral cares.
Ooh, that's a juicy upgrade.
Just for the blanket light as such. It's not that there's anything wrong with these Radions. They're just the noise is trying to drive me crazy.
Right. Okay.
I wonder why you're suffering from so much noise. I mean, I run mine in the room behind me at 100 and nothing like the volume you're discussing.
Oh, bright light.
Yeah.
Have you put the narrow angle lenses on it?
No, that's my next one because of the light scape is right up at the top. there's about 2.5 foot, 3 foot from the light fixture to the
G5s are notoriously widespread and low pass. You've probably got those lights set a lot higher percentage-wise than what the rest of us will. As my G6s are run a lot lower than what a G5 would have had to have run at. So yeah, maybe narrow angles and then turn your lights down a little bit. You might be all right.
Get the fans.
Narrow angles is the next one I'm looking at trying, just to try and help.
Super simple change as well.
I have to have them that high up to be able to reach into the tank because it's 3 foot wide. I can't reach the back panel. I can't reach any corals at the back or anything. If Bruce knocks something off, you can't get in the tank with it much lower.
Okay. So nothing that you got your eye on at the minute, but maybe a bigger tank. So maybe that's an ongoing
and maybe some coral cares.
And maybe some better lights. Thank you. Maybe some better lights.
I mean, a new tank, an upgrade, and new lights is not nothing, is it? I mean, geez.
We'll see.
Just upgrade and some new lights.
Just everything.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. New tank's not on my mind anywhere near yet. I'm happy with this one.
So what level? What's the priority order? The order of priorities then for the tank then? Put it into
pump.
Yeah.
Another pump for the closed loop. I want to get a AI blade for the frag tank in the sump.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you've got a frag tank in your sump, haven't you? Yeah, forget that.
Yeah, so the front of my sump, it runs lengthways. The whole length of my sump is a frag tank running across the front.
Nice.
It's quite a nice design, that.
Yeah.
Have you how wide? What's the width on it?
20 centimeters.
Look at the Stratton Flex.
Okay. Is that like a blade sort of style?
Stratton, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about that wide, I think.
How many times have you said Stratton in this stream, Josh? Is there a plug here? Are you waiting on one in the post?
I would like to get one in the post. I'd be over the moon if I got one in the post.
I feel like if somebody was tallying them up, they'd be
I'd be
like,
waving a flag out the window. Like, look what I've got. I'd love the things. Stratton Flex, have a look. It's just it's like a strip version of it rather than.
Is it full spectrum or blue?
It's the same as Ron's, the exact same, just in a different shape.
Okay.
All right, okay.
Might have looked at them then. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Is a full spectrum, long but thin light.
Oh, hang on, no, that's cookies. That can go away. Yeah, there you go.
You don't look at your browser history, Josh. Right, okay, cool.
How to groom the perfect moustache.
That's it. Right, there's a few
I'm glad you
questions
finished that perfect moustache rather than something else. If you said groom.
There's been a conversation going off in the comments about the salt that we were talking about earlier with the hydrometer and the settings. I think Ian's got people talking about different sort of levels of salinity depending on where you've had the hydrometer tested or when you've done your R&D. Question from Justin Lee's asking you, Ron, how do I buy corals from Eden Corals? Another person asking for corals, Ron.
Well,
and your answer is
I've never heard of Eden Corals, so I'm not sure where that is.
Come on, lose the R.
I don't sell out with wholesale currently. But
he just gives for free. It's charity work.
I tell you something. I made that Discord, right, and nearly 95% of the people that joined were all in America, and they were all sending each other corals and, I don't want this, do you want that? And they were swapping, sending equipment to each other for nothing. I mean, I got sent a piece of Hydros equipment for absolutely nothing from a friend in South Carolina. Such nice, genuinely generous people, and I wanted to take part in it, but I can't ship over to America. I did actually look at CITES and stuff like that, and it's very complicated. Yeah. And then as soon as somebody joined in the UK, I was let me ship some of these corals out because they're just growing like weeds, and it's brilliant to be able to share. So I know you make jokes about it, but I get a tremendous amount of enjoyment sending friends corals. And
so the question is how do you become a friend of Ron, or how do you become Ron? Probably what we need.
I was about to say, how good a friend do we need to be?
Yeah,
it's
probably a good opportunity for you, Justin.
I will be selling online and things eventually, but if you're desperate for something, give me a shout. You'll find a way. Join the Discord.
Join the Discord
because I enjoy it. I'm part of it, as a few of us are. And
you've slotted in like you've always been there, Liam. It's been great.
No, it's a very nice group of people.
What are you getting paid to say that? Can you dispute?
Corals.
Corals. Yeah.
When you
Come
open
on,
the
Tom,
box, when you
switch
open the
on.
box, was it right? Okay, I get it now. Sorry, behind. Yeah, I'm behind. Anyway, Leroy's saying if you get the coral caves, he has a spare control box for you. There you go.
Of course he does.
In his mum's cupboard.
In his mum's
In
cupboard.
his mum's cupboard.
Yeah.
Ian saying it's the R&D that goes into it. I think we're talking about the salt again and the hydrometer.
I think he's talking about probably the skimmers and stuff on that one. I might be wrong.
Oh, right, possibly. Mm.
I mean, how much different is it? Are they Bubble Kings? What's the ones you had, Tom? Oh, Royal Exclusive.
Yeah, Bubble King.
How much R&D has gone into that skimmer versus any other skimmer which looks pretty much identical but just isn't red and white?
Yeah, true. True. Okay, used them years ago. Liam, but bizarrely enough, he's got something else in his mum's cupboard. Should you need it? 21-inch. Yeah. Anyway, right. We are coming to the end of these comments, so I'm conscious of time. Everybody's got other things they want to be getting on with on the afternoon. Oh, we've got a question here. Will M is asking, how can I join the Discord? Now, I did have this saved in a banner, so you're going to have to... Can you text it me again? And while you guys are talking to yourselves, I will save this banner. I do promise, sir, to save it, because every time we do this, to be fair, and it is a good thing for you, for the Discord, it is for a good cause. It is great in getting people involved. Can you text it me again? Because unfortunately, we do talk to each other a bit more often than I thought.
No, I'm sending it to you now. So we do have an actual specific link now. It used to be random letters and numbers, but we've got enough members now that we then get an actual link. So it's the bottom of that message I've just sent you, Tom. It's a lot easier to type in than because you got it's capital letters, lowercase, and it's just a total pain. So we've got a much easier one now.
Have I done that correctly? Is that right?
10 out of 10, Tom.
Oh, I got it right first time.
Well done. Tom. And I even got enough slashes as well.
Oh, dear. So there you go. So if you want to join the Discord, and what's happening today on the Discord? So just give us a bit of a summary. It's not a plug, I know, but no, it is for a good cause. So what's the format? How does it work?
Yeah, there's no money involved. Some people you have to pay to join their Discords. Ours is completely free. You can have your own tank channel on there, which is almost like a tank diary. You can post all your photos and we can all chat. And then we do tank tours. So today at 3 p.m., one of the members who is based in Florida, Julian, is giving us a tour of his tank. So it's all on there, and you can watch it on YouTube later if you can't join in. It's
a good way to talk to reefers from, especially the States, isn't it? And talk about best practice, trade secrets, all that sort of stuff.
It's really interesting.
I understand you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you understand your English Yorkshire accent. Anyway,
I didn't realise the Lee had actually bitten off his own tongue.
Sorry?
What?
Apparently that's part of why he's difficult to understand, is because he actually bit off his own tongue. I don't know what. I mean, I think the list of stuff he's done to himself, not done to himself, is shorter than what he has.
I think we'll leave it there. Okay. So at 3 o'clock, you do tank tours, don't you? You also do you not do the you do the salty banter as well? So that's a chat. Yeah. So talk to us about salty banter. What's that all about?
Salty banter is literally exactly what we have here, but it's open to every member of the Discord, and we all just talk about what we're doing that week in reefing. And this week it was bizarre because we talked a lot about reefing.
Yeah. Wow.
I was really disappointed. So no, it's great chat. It's all about fun. It's all about fun.
Yeah. And it's Julian. Is it Julian you said it a second ago?
It is, yes.
Right,
from Florida.
If
he's not eating. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to wrap it up there, gentlemen, because we're getting on to 12:25. And thanks ever so much, Liam, for joining us. Josh, it's nice to see you.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice to see you back in the seat, mate. Glad your tank's turning out better for you and you got over the bugs. That's good. Ron, emotional as ever. What else can I say?
Absolutely.
I'm so jealous about you having that light. I hope I get one soon.
I don't know who cancelled today, but thanks for having me on.
No, it's fine. We always need a fall guy, plan B. You have a plan B, obviously. Well, actually, plan C. Sorry. So, without further ado, we will wish everybody in the audience, thanks ever so much for joining us. We will wish you a happy Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining us all, and we will see you on Friday's stream next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.